He's not said anything. Maybe he isn't. Oh.
What's the matter? You got wax in your ears?
We need some microphone, something or other going on.
Clicking, yeah.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
What up?
How do you say?
What up?
What up? What up?
Ooh. Dum, dum, dum. Right. Yeah. We ready?
Give me 1 minute.
A minute? It's a long time. What do you need a whole minute for?
Never mind about that. If he needs a minute, he can have a minute.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
This is 15 minutes of this, by the way. I'm going to let the whole thing play.
Are you recording? That's a good question.
Yes, I am.
Good stuff.
All right, you had your minute.
Is that it? We're done?
It's still
You ready?
going on. The song's still going on.
Are you
No,
ready?
it's not.
What? Are you ready?
No,
What is
no,
going
wait.
on?
Wait. Okay. Hang on.
Listen, I don't have time to play with the phone here. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done.
Yeah, go on then.
Just go. Just do it.
Hi, this is Bud Gundelach.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. It's Ju's story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
And welcome again to my show, Something's Happening.
It's the veteran gamers.
Hate crime!
Yeah, boy.
Aha, you burnt!
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Wordblade!
Hello and welcome to
Very nice.
Jesus Christ, to show 374 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 374 coming at you with all those things and more. I am Duke, a.k.a. Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
And I am Stu, aka Nothing.
I
A.k.a.
am.
Fowler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I am Mike, aka Chinny.
Yeah. Chinmeister.
And welcome again to our show, Something's Happening in the World of Video Games. For those of you listening for the first time, we are not veterans of the gaming world. We are veterans of... Oh, no, we are veterans...
What the hell?
Correctly, that's something I am not a veteran of. But we are not military veterans.
Yeah, Duke has seen 3 wars, haven't you, Duke?
I saw World War Z. That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it was okay. I liked it.
It was
okay.
really bad. It was
I
inconsistent on the zombie
What other
transfer.
movies have I seen with the World War in them?
War of the Roses.
War of the Roses, yeah, but that's
Saving Private Ryan, you saw that?
That's not got war in there. It's got a
War in
war in the title.
Oh, right.
War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds.
I never saw that actually,
Jesus Christ. Not even the original version.
but I did see Something's Happening.
4 filters of toxic fat that you are looking at. I take out of my mouth in the morning, 4 and 4 at night.
This is death from the mouth.
This is death extracted from the mouth, actually.
Did you guys watch that?
No.
No.
What? Why not?
Why would we?
Because
I
anything
spent
else
my
was
time
on.
finding awesome video clips to share with my friends, and they don't even bother watching it.
Oh, is that the link
Well,
that you sent us? That was...
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, that is, yeah.
Oh.
It's because there was some paint drying that I had to watch.
Well, it's your loss. I'm gonna share it this Twitch chat. People are going to appreciate the awesomeness that I'm sharing with them. And attention, listeners, I am eating soup right now, so if I go silent, that's why.
What flavour of soup is it? Brilliant.
You already went silent.
It's ambrosia stew. That's
It's
what
a
I
what?
call it. It's
It's
ambrosia stew.
Ambrosia.
That's what I call
What's
it.
it got? Rice pudding in it?
Do you want to hear what it is, or do you want to keep asking silly questions?
No, it's not silly. Ambrosia's rice pudding in the UK, man.
Well, ambrosia is the beverage that the gods drank in ancient Greece. So the fact that you have a rice pudding called ambrosia, that's just a happy coincidence. I call it ambrosia stew when I make ramen, put an egg in it, and chop up some carrots.
So it's literally got carrots and an egg in it. Is that it?
Yes, and it's pot noodle, as you would call it.
What? Oh, and noodles. So
Yes.
it's literally noodles, egg, and carrots.
Yes, and it's delicious.
So if you
Doesn't
haven't
sound
fallen asleep
delicious.
already, we stream.
Oh, and sriracha sauce too. It's got sriracha.
We stream
Has it got a
live.
what?
Oh my god, they're still going.
Stu asked. I just
I'm
made
interested.
a note to explain why I go silent sometimes. That's it.
We stream live on Twitch and YouTube Sunday at 9 p.m. We also stream on.
Beam.
We also stream on Beam,
Beam.
but no one cares about
What-
Beam.
What the hell is Beam anyway?
Beam
What is that?
is Microsoft's Twitch.
I still don't know what it is. I ask every week.
Do you
and
know
I
what
still
Twitch is?
haven't. No, what's Twitch?
You do know what Twitch is. Stop.
I know that
humouring
you
me.
can. I know you can die doing Twitch because that's happened in the recent weeks, hasn't it?
So Beam
be
is
careful.
Microsoft's answer to Twitch. Their selling point is that the latency is not as large, so it's quicker. So there's no delay. So that's their big selling
But
point.
the
on Beam.
negative is nobody uses
Nobody
it.
goes on it. I've been streaming a lot this week, and I did get one viewer on Beam, and it was possibly the most exciting part of the whole stream.
Who was it? Do you think Bill Gates?
It was Batch Gaming, who we know,
Ah.
and yeah, he came on and said, "What up, Chinny?" and then immediately left, which says to me that Beam is shit. So sorry.
Sorry.
But, I
Beam.
mean,
We
it
hate
might
you.
work. It might work perfectly well, but there's just nobody using it. That's the trouble.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know.
Gotta have the users, baby. It's been a sad week this week, isn't it? Sad week
Why?
because Pilchards and Cream has finished.
It has finished.
I
Yeah.
know. What's up with that?
Oh, he never even asked you on, Duke. I wonder why.
He had the cream from this show apparently, and then he was like,
Yeah.
"I don't have anyone else I need to interview."
I know. Didn't even have Duke on.
Nope.
He looked around.
Well, it wasn't called Pilchers and Dregs, was it?
He couldn't see any more cream. Stopped while he was at the top.
Yeah,
Can't blame him.
that's it. There was no more Cream. No more Duke. He was maybe scared of your soundboard. Maybe that's why he didn't have you on. You know what I mean?
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I think that he was intimidated, Duke. That's probably what it was. By you being the top of the cream. That's what it was. There you go. And whoever's creaking there. Is that Duke or is
That's
that you,
me.
Chinny?
Sorry, that's
Is
me.
that you?
I've got like a.
Is that your bones? Is that your joints? Is it your
You know
arms?
what? You know what?
I want to log into Twitch.
I think I'm getting there with. Look, I've got a pain in my shoulder at the moment, and fuck me, it just kills. Like, I just don't know how I've done it. I've had it before Christmas. Like, every time
Yeah.
I take my t-shirt off or something, it's there. I think I'm
I
dying.
get it. Taking off the t-shirt.
I just.
I'm glad that your shoulder's there every time you take off your t-shirt because that would be worrying if it wasn't.
Well, the pain's there.
Oh, the pain! I was I thought you meant
Pain's
your
there.
shoulder was there.
No, the pain's there. I don't know. I think I did it falling over on the ice, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, did you fall on your shoulder on the ice?
I didn't fall on my shoulder, no, but I fell on my elbows, which in turn sort of
Jarred your
jarred
shoulder.
up my shoulder. So I think it might be that.
Elbows connected to the shoulder.
Bone.
Exactly. Yeah. It's also been a sad week for me because I watched Dumb and Dumber 2,
Phew,
Aye.
that'd make anybody sad.
and
Yeah.
as a massive fan of the first film,
It's a great first film.
that second film is really, really bad.
I heard bad things about it.
It's really
But
bad. It
we
looks
saw Get Out you've all got to see it. And Chinny, you definitely need to see it.
Get
Yeah, I've
out.
heard good things about Get Out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was written and directed by Jordan Peele from Key and Peele.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny, it's scary, and it's just a really important movie. And I recommend people see it in theater. So that's all I'm going to say about it. It's really, really good.
Get out.
Yeah. No, I've heard good things. I've heard good things. So,
All right.
Yeah. Get Out. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, Dumb and Dumber 2. It just looked cheap. And poorly.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber 2, yeah, and it just looked cheap. It was filmed like really badly.
And this had Jim Carrey and
Jeff Daniels in it.
Did it? I didn't think it had them. I thought
No,
was
it
someone
does.
else.
And
they made Dumb and Dumberer once
That's
upon a time,
correct.
but that wasn't with them, right?
that wasn't
that's
them.
what I'm getting mixed
So
up with.
there's Dumb and Dumber, which is the brilliant film, and then you got shortly afterwards they made Dumb and Dumberer, which is a prequel, which is different actors, and then in 2014 they made Dumb and Dumber 2, spelled T-O.
It was the Farrellys.
It was the Farrellys. It was directed and written by them. Apparently, there was a lot of financial trouble because Warner Brothers wasn't backing the film and said they will publish it, but we won't pay for it. Which you can tell because the film is.
Or
looks
apparently
cheap.
they've just run out of ideas.
There's
Well,
that
that's
as well.
Like, is it just weak looking, but it's still funny? Because I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter if it doesn't look great.
It's there are moments that Jim Carrey is brilliant, and Jeff Daniels is brilliant. And they're the best parts is them because it's still them, and Jim Carrey is still funny, but I think he just wasn't. Maybe he just wasn't like let loose like he normally is, or he just wasn't.
Or he's just getting old.
No,
Well, he's a different kind of actor now too. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
It's so much drama and horror and stuff.
I
that
just
don't know.
think-
I mean, he's still a comedian, and like I think he still has the power to do it, but he's just had to adjust himself a lot.
I think a lot of it is remember this in Dumb and Dumber 1. That's
Right.
It's a very rinse and repeat movie, and
How
it
I
was
felt about Anchorman 2.
Yeah, Anchorman 2, which Jim Carrey's in, by the way, is very much like these are all the things that happened in 1, and there they happened again in 2, which is a shame. But it's just a shame. It doesn't make the first one any worse. It's just a shame that they made a sequel to that film.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we still talking about this? By the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we go back to what fucking Duke's eating?
And
Well,
hopefully extraction depth from the mouth. This
Yeah, let's.
Well,
let's
I
no, Stu. Let's hear more sound clips of that fucking video rather than. Yeah, go on.
well, I was going to say, look. I'm excited this week. I was excited this week because obviously Duke, as we know, sort of was it late-ish sometime last year, went out and purchased himself a Wii U specifically to play Legend of Zelda at launch and stuff, right? Because he specifically bought a console for this.
Come on.
So I'm very excited to hear about it, because it's getting great reviews. I just want to know Duke's take on it. So, Duke, how is it?
Let's get to that, shall we? Or I got a story time.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story time.
Meanwhile, anytime Stu watches a movie, we have 20 minutes of commentary about that.
Correct.
And she wants to say three things about Dumb 2, but
Preach.
anyway,
It's not even true, but carry on.
So I told you that I had a student who sometimes reads his lyrics in the poetics class about video games, and he did it again this week because he was talking about life back in the day. And so he talked about playing video games with his grandmother, and then he said, "Yeah, we used to play Halo and Tekken." And I was like, "Oh, dude, you have the coolest grandma ever." And then the students were like, "Oh man, you used to beat your grandma at Tekken and Halo?" And he goes, "No, she used to beat my ass." I was like, "Yes."
Nice.
So anyway, that's the story time. Anybody else got a story time?
No, I want to hear about Zelda.
I
What's
have a
happening with
story
Zelda,
time.
man?
I have a story time. Last week,
Go ahead.
Last week, I did all the show notes, all the stuff for the show. I put it up, everything, named it, tagged it, put it in a post, everything. Messaged you. People are still talking. Messaged you, said, "Yo, Stu, don't worry about it. Got you back. Done. Right?" He didn't check WhatsApp. He fucking did it himself. He didn't even see the post in the draft. He just fucking did it.
Where
ungrateful fuck.
was the post?
And
Where was it?
It was in drafts.
I still don't know
It was
where.
in drafts.
Oh, in the thingy. You see, but right, you keep doing different stuff. How am I supposed to know? I'm not some sort of mind reader.
I don't know. Why don't you just check?
Messaged you somehow.
Why the hell did you WhatsApp me when you could have just texted me? You know, we get text in the UK. You don't have to WhatsApp
Because,
me.
Stuart, I can
Talk
answer
to
that
you.
for Chinny.
Wow.
If we know anything about Chinny, it's that he has a million things coming at him from all directions. This is why he wanted to do Slash or whatever the hell that
Slack.
other web thing was.
Fucking hell.
What?
Slack.
No, but text.
Slack, that's
text is easier. Well, it's as easy.
It's easier for you, but he's used to thinking about.
Easy.
Stuart, he's used to thinking about. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chinny. Thinking about communicating with us via WhatsApp.
Correct. Anyway.
So why don't we have? I mean, if he sends me something on WhatsApp, I get to see it right away. It's not buried in some arcane file folder.
It isn't, but I'm at work and my phone doesn't get a signal at work, so I don't see it till about
So how
5:30
would a
at
text
night.
be any goddamn?
I would like to. No, a text would come through.
Down.
But right, I just want to read the text messages. Okay. So, when it happened and I realised, I text Stu via text message, which means I'm in 1998, right? And I said, "Oh my God, Stu, don't you check your WhatsApp?" And then he replied, "Don't have a phone on at work, damn." Then I replied with this: "I got the post ready, episode name, tags, feature image. Fuck you, you ungrateful fuck. I hate you. No big deal. Honest mistake. Fair play."
Fuck your stuff.
So yeah, I don't know.
Wow. And WhatsApp is encrypted. Regular text messages are not. Maybe Chinny's trying to keep his secrets.
It's true.
Security and all that stuff. Of course. Why not?
Anyway,
All
shall we
right,
talk about video games?
So, Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I have the friend at school. There's a guy who's a custodian, and he's crazy about Zelda. And he was like, I saw him on Friday, and I was like, "Hey, man, when's Breath come out?" He's like, "Today. I'm going right after school." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I should get it." And he's like, "You should. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait." And then I didn't, because I'm playing a game, and I'm going to probably get Wildlands when it drops, and I'll get Breath of the Wild at some point, but I'm not getting it right away. So, didn't get it, don't know, can't tell you.
Oh, man. I can't believe you let me down.
Well, you also have a Wii U, if I'm not mistaken.
I have. I've ordered the game.
You numpty.
I've ordered it. I've ordered it. But I'll be honest.
Ordered it. Why didn't you have it now?
Because getting Breath of the Wild on Wii U is like getting Rocket Horse shit. There's nowhere selling it. It's sold out everywhere.
Oh.
And there isn't anywhere you can get it from. And the only place weirdly, the place I managed to get it from was Boomerang.
I see.
Weird.
Because obviously people probably didn't think of going there to buy it, you see, obviously because it's a rental service, but they also sell games. There were some available on eBay, but they were about like £55 to £60. But I managed to get it for $49 from Boomerang, so it's coming. 5 to 10 days, though. 5 to 10 days it is. So yeah, it's you can't get it. They didn't sell it. I did go into Game at the weekend, but they didn't have any copies there. They had the Switch. If I'd have had a Switch, it would fine. They had loads of Switch versions of the game, but none of the Wii U variety. I doubt.
Zelda Switch, perhaps.
Yeah, I think they've also probably reduced the number on the Wii U to the Switch. I think they're obviously pushing the Switch, aren't they? So, yeah, not easy to get hold of.
Just out of curiosity, on the day that the Switch came out, I went on to Amazon and I thought, I wonder if I can get one. Then I looked,
right.
And then there
Were
was
you ready to pull the trigger?
Well, there was the grey one was out of stock, but the red and blue one was in stock, and I think the red and blue one looks better, personally. And
that's because you're a member of the Bloods and the Crips, so you'd be able to represent both of your gangs at once.
That's correct. When I'm not here in the West Midlands of England, I often find myself affiliated with gangs in North LA. In North California. So anyway, the
Southern California, South Central LA. Go on.
So that's whatever. pedantics. That's why I never find anyone.
Your knowledge, you're just wandering around in red and blue.
I'm in the wrong areas.
And they're like, "Sir, this is Napa Valley. We grow wine here." And they're like,
Yeah,
"What the fuck?"
represent, motherfucker. Red wine, more like. Okay, so, I hovered over the buy now for the Switch, and I hovered and I hovered.
How long did you have it over the by now?
About a minute.
Dude.
I was thinking about it. Then I thought about it. And I didn't do it.
No, I don't. Look, do you know what? I would have been really shocked had you done it.
Yeah.
This is the week of people not pulling triggers on Nintendo products.
Yeah, don't pull a trigger because there's just not enough stuff for it, is there?
No.
There's just not enough stuff there.
Says the man who bought VR and the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, well, I sold the VR and the Nintendo Wii. I
He's trying to educate. He's trying to pass on the wisdom. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I am.
Learn from my mistakes.
I sold it back and made £15 profit.
Well, there you go. Maybe he could buy a Switch and sell it for a profit.
Oh yeah, probably could. You probably could have done. There are people selling them for silly prices on eBay. Oh yeah, could have made some cash, Chinny.
Mm-hmm. All right, enough of what we're not playing. Who wants to talk about what they are playing?
Yeah, who wants to do that? I don't know. Shall I do that? Shall I go first?
Go ahead,
for a
Stu.
change?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Shall I go first for a change?
Go ahead.
But yes, I actually did buy a game from Game. Do you know?
Dude,
Actually,
Game.
I know. I think that's the first game I've ever bought in Game. I don't think I've ever bought a game from Game.
Batman, the Telltale series?
No.
Was it Wildlands?
No, that's not out yet.
Was it? I don't know. Maybe you got a bootleg. Was it Far Cry Primal?
Nope.
I give up.
Close though.
It's close. Yeah, it is close. To be fair, it's close.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yay! Well, when I say buy, I didn't really buy because I took 3 Nintendo games in and Doom, and what else did I take in? Oh, Deus Ex.
Did you give them something and then they gave you something?
They did, yeah, and I got
That's
£3.
Basically buying something. We don't necessarily
need
how
I didn't
came to own the thing.
Yeah, I didn't buy it for
When I
cash.
say I bought it, I gave them a plastic card and then
traded-
moved through this digital reader, and then I got the game. I didn't actually give them money.
I traded in 3 Wii U games.
Yes,
and
we
2
understand the process, Stu.
Anyway, I did all that.
Wait a minute.
I did all
You're
that.
able to trade in games?
I know, a game. Anyway, so I did all that.
Alive.
And she gave me a shiny copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. Because I wasn't that interested in playing this, right? I'll be honest. I wasn't too impressed.
And then
with
the reviews came out, and you're a fucking
No.
sucker for good reviews.
No, and that wasn't it either. It wasn't. I haven't really read any reviews. To be
Bollocks.
fair.
Bollocks.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Bollocks.
Sorry, Stu, you've trained us to be cynical.
I've seen the scores. It's got, but I haven't really read any in-depth reviews on
All
the
right,
game.
fine. I'll bite. What
Bollocks.
tripped your hand? Why did you choose to buy this finally?
Bollocks.
Because, of course, Project Thingy Red. What's CD Project?
I know some of those words, but you're not making any
Anyway,
sense.
you know, CD Project Red, who did Witcher 3, of course. That's right, isn't it? CD Project Red. Is that right? That is right. I know I'm old and senile, but I think that's right.
The
But anyway,
makers of Witcher 3. Go on. What's the
I
verb
should have
of
done that. I
your
got away with it. Then. Should have done that. I got away with it. But basically, they sent a tweet out to the makers of Horizon, Guerrilla, and went, "Well done on the game, right?" Because
So in other words, you read a review from the makers of The Witcher 3.
he said,
So
"Well
Chinny
done
was.
on the game." How the hell does that constitute a review?
They gave their opinion about a game. What else is a review?
Well done on the game.
So Chinny was right.
Yeah. Well, the reason they did this is because a lot of people have been comparing it to The Witcher 3
Oh.
and saying it's
And
like,
now that you've played it, is that an apt comparison?
in some respects.
It's never easy, is it, with him?
Well, it isn't though, is it? Because it's not a direct copy. There are some elements of The Witcher 3 within it.
All right, fine. How about this? Between 0 and 100%, how much is it like The Witcher 3?
So far, probably about 50.
Ah.
Probably about 50% like The Witcher.
And are you loving it? Are you glad you got it?
I'm enjoying it so far. I wouldn't say I'm loving it.
All
I
right.
wouldn't say I'm loving it, but I am enjoying it. You know, it looks gorgeous. first things first, let's get that out of the way. It looks amazing. You know, still got dead eyes. You know, all the actors have got, you know, or I say actors, but characters in the game have got dead eyes. Well, that's still par for the course. So it still suffers a little bit from that.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means. I'm looking at this gameplay footage and it looks fine.
It means
It looks like eyes as every other character in every other video game.
I think, look, video games have this representation of having eyes that seem to look like they stare into the abyss. And
they do.
It's a very subtle. I suppose it's because eyes move quite a lot rapidly, and games have never been able to nail realistic eyes movement. Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the lackings for the Uncanny Valley, isn't it? Because they can't seem to get eyes with emotion right. I guess that's the sort of word.
I think
for it,
eyes don't stay still for very long. So, yeah.
Well, it looks fine. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Anyway, so it suffers from dead eyes. I'm still not convinced at the voice acting. I think voice acting in The Witcher 3 is top notch. There are no wooden sounding characters, you know.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, exactly. There are no wooden, but in this, that main character's voice, I still can't get to grips with it. I still feel it's not natural enough. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. But I'm just not feeling the voice acting. Some of it's better than others, but I don't know. It's not quite nailing it for me.
Stop whining about minor aesthetic details.
No, it's not a minor thing because it is.
I like the way you spoke to her.
Medium level aesthetic details.
I like the way you spoke to her like she was on the show. Then.
Yeah, but if you've got a narrative.
Clementine, shut up.
Yeah, if you've got a narrative story-driven game, it's important to have good voice acting. It's like a film. If you had a film and the actors are wooden, you wouldn't be coming out of that movie going, "Oh, that was fucking amazing," would you?
No, but I would have criticism also if the game had, or if the movie had a subplot where people were looking for people who were looking for people who were looking for people who were looking for people, and that would be a little more important to me than voice actors.
Hey, Duke, do you know who does the voice for this lady?
No.
What You Playing, Ash? Does the voice?
Oh, really? Is that true? Oh my god.
Yeah, she does the
herself.
She did the voice for Chloe in Life is Strange as well.
She went to Rocket Jump, which is Freddie Wong's thing, and
cool.
Her brother wrote for Borderlands 2.
She met the right people.
Yeah, they're doing well. Those two, brother and sister, they're doing really well. So
good. They're very creative.
But I don't think she's. Maybe she's, still early on in her career or anything like that. Maybe, I don't think she's a voice actor completely by, like
that's not her primary gig. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was a writer first. But she seems to be doing well. She's doing well enough to be cast for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
back to the review. Go on.
So the voice acting's a little bit wooden.
You got that. Go ahead. Move on.
It's not perfect. Another criticism I've got is you fight a lot of creatures sometimes.
In a video game.
God, that's so annoying.
In an open area. And you might down one, but you're still being attacked by others, so you might be running around.
It's so inconsiderate for them to just attack you while you're trying to concentrate on another one.
That's not the problem.
Okay.
If you let me get to it, I'll tell you what the problem is.
It's hard when somebody keeps interrupting you, isn't it, Stu?
It is. It's so difficult. Anyway, so you're running around, and then you lose your bearings, and it does not mark where you've downed the enemies. So you have to, obviously, you're scavenging and collecting the stuff off them. Sometimes I've lost where they were. Where the carcasses were that you have to go and scavenge off. And even if you put, you get, this vision thing, you find this thing that you clip on the side of your head near the beginning of the game, and that's like eagle vision in Assassin's Creed or Witcher sense in Witcher. It's that sort of staple, allows you to see things in the environment or mark the creatures and all this sort of stuff. And it also allows you to mark the paths. Like there's the enemy creatures, it allows you to look where they're going to be going.
Right.
So you can time your movements between cover and stuff, which is long grass. So that reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed 4. Obviously in the in the jungly bits where you're hiding in the long grass and taking out enemies.
Yeah.
Rough in the
And-
jungle. In the
It does.
jungle.
And this works pretty much the same. You can pick up rocks. So you
Well,
pick up
before
rocks.
you move on to that, Stu, I was going to ask about the finding downed animals. Are you sure there's nothing in the mini map? Because there are some games where they'll.
No, had a look. Yeah, it doesn't mark them on the mini map. And they can be quite a way off where you first originally killed them. You know what I mean? And then you lose the scavenging stuff and the scrap that you might have got off them. So that's a bit annoying. So yeah, but it's not a huge deal, but it is something that just annoys slightly. They could have just let you mark them in the terrain, or if you put your vision on, they just highlight, to show you where the carcasses are if you haven't already scavenged off them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a little bit annoying. Story wise,
Zeryug on YouTube said, "How many rocks can you pick up?"
10.
10. Good.
You can pick up 10 rocks.
After 10, that's it.
That's it.
Does the game just crash or what?
Not that I've noticed.
Right.
Not that I've noticed. But the thing with the rocks is
thousands and thousands of rocks.
very much like Assassin's Creed. You can hide in the long grass, throw a rock. Obviously, robot whatever watcher, which is the most common ones, comes over to look what's what, and then you can do like a stealth attack or a silent takedown. Yeah, and kill it.
Sorry,
and then scavenge.
so was you playing the game then? Because the sound just came in and it sounded
It's exactly like it's the exact sound from the game.
Right.
It did. But it's kind of easy to do that. So you can do that with some of the smaller animals. And then you can shoot them and shit. So you shoot them in the eye. So you've got to hit specific parts of the creatures to take them down. So that's okay, I guess. You get a bow and arrow at the beginning. And then obviously you can level up as you go along and you unlock new weapons and stuff.
What kind of new weapons? Do you ever get to guns, or is it just like more primitive stuff?
No, funnily enough, I have seen a gun in the game when I was watching the video that we're watching now. A bit later on, you get I've seen what looked like a Gatling gun, but I haven't come across that yet. At the moment, I've just got a normal bow and arrow, a spear, which is like your melee attack. So you've got a spear that you can use for that, and I have a line caster, which I've literally just unlocked, which allows you to set like electric line traps for the animals, so they sort of cross that and then they're like electrocuted. Yeah. And then it's got leveling up system, very similar, I guess, to The Witcher. So you can level up like 3 different attributes. I can't remember what they're called now.
Strength, agility, and wisdom.
No, it's not like that. It's something like brave. There's like 3 things like brave, something else, and something else. I don't know. And then they each have different sorts of attributes within them. So I've unlocked like slow down time when you're aiming.
That's agility.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's okay. I'm not blown away so far.
Yeah. How many hours have you played it?
Not a lot. I would say probably about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe about 2 or 3 hours. But it does look amazing. It does look amazing.
Is the story at all decent, or is it just pedestrian?
It seems okay at the moment. There's nothing. It's nothing too like crazy.
I'm shocked that you're so sort of like meh on the game, to be honest.
What was that about it?
I don't know. It reminds.
Why did you think you would have a different reaction, Chinny?
I don't know, because it's like I don't know really, because everybody's been saying it's good. Well, I suppose I shouldn't be because it's popular. Stu won't like it, will he?
It's not that. No, it's not that. The trouble is, and I guess this is part of the reason I was a bit unsure about buying it in the first place. It just reminds me of every other open world game. It's it's very much like Tomb Raider. It's very much like The Witcher 3, although it's not as good story or voice acting wise as The Witcher 3. It's very much like Assassin's Creed. It's got a lot of all those games in it.
So it's like to you, it's like another one of those.
Yeah, it's not very original.
So why do you think people are praising this a lot? Does it have something to do with it being exclusive, maybe?
I don't know. The gameplay's good. The combat's pretty interesting.
If this was on both Xbox and PlayStation, do you think it would get the same hype?
No, I think it would still have done all right. I think it would still do all right. I've got to say, the side missions that I've come across so far, and I've done 2 of those, they were fairly interesting. One of them involved
beavers.
No, an ex-tribe member who had mental health issues.
Oh, right, okay.
Which was kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever played a video game before with a side mission that involves someone with mental health issues.
I'm sure there was one GTA.
Probably.
yeah.
Possibly. But done in a serious way. You know, this was done in quite a serious way. And they're very much structured. And I guess this is where the Witcher 3 comparisons come in. They're very much structured like Witcher 3 side missions, where it seems to start off as a fairly small, straightforward thing, and then it keeps on getting bigger.
So do you think this game's borrowed a lot from The Witcher 3?
Oh, definitely, especially the tracking of the missions, because you basically go into your eagle vision, stroke Witcher sense, stroke whatever it's called in
Detective
this game.
mode, in Batman.
Detective mode,
yeah.
Detective mode.
Hitman vision.
You know,
You've got it in Hitman there.
Hitman vision. You go whatever game you played, and
the video game button.
Yeah, the video game button.
Yes.
And that then allows you to see the trail of the thing you're following.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then you can highlight it. And obviously in The Witcher, it was like a blood trail.
Okay.
And I'm not saying this was any better in The Witcher. It just seems to be a very
every show
common.
You've always got to mention the fucking Witcher.
Well, this game has been compared.
Heaven forbid when I've got to fucking play the thing.
But it is a very common video game trope, isn't it? To have.
Oh
this,
yeah, the
Witcher
video game
sense
button that shows you
mission
things that.
thing.
Yeah.
That are in the environment, or how to mark your
Batman
enemies.
started it. Everybody else copied it.
That's it. That's it. So yes, it does that, and then you sort of follow the trail, and then obviously you might have to fight a few enemies along the way, and then you finally get to your objective, and then it might tell you a little bit more or something else, and then you move on again to the next little bit of it. So some of the like. Sorry, say again.
I said keep moving on to the next one.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You just keep on moving on.
Yeah.
And maybe I've just not played enough of it yet. You know what I mean? I haven't played a hell of a lot. I've not played.
Apparently, the game does open up.
Oh yeah, it's open now.
Oh, is it?
I mean, here's the other thing that annoys me, and I don't know why they've done this. But you save at campfires, so you basically come to a campfire. It's unlit. You light the campfire. It does a save, and that also.
Dead Souls. It's took it from Dead Souls.
Yeah, and yeah, well, there you go.
Dark Souls, not Dead Souls.
Dark Souls. Yeah.
Dark Dead.
Dark Souls.
It took it from Dark Dead.
Yeah, there you go. And that then becomes a fast travel point.
Yeah.
But then you have to craft a fast travel pack to allow you to fast travel.
Yeah.
That's weak.
So you can't.
Those?
Not really. You've got to go and kill a wild boar or something. You've got to use 3 sorts of meat and then something else. So I guess it's trying to say, look, you're traveling a distance. You need meat and stuff to do that.
I guess.
So you have to. So again, it's not difficult to do, but it's just like, why can't I just fast travel? Why do I have to go and kill something and then make a fast travel pack? So yeah, you make your pack and then you can travel between points. So that's how fast travel works.
I just want to update everybody. There are still no viewers on Beam. There are no viewers on Beam.
Suck it,
Beam. On Beam. No viewers on Beam. So yeah, I'm not going to say it's terrible because it isn't. I mean, it looks great.
Are you having fun, Stu?
Yes, the combat is slick. The combat's very nicely done.
Slick.
So it's slick. The bow feels nice.
Terrible
when you shoot stuff. I mean, it's satisfying. Stuff blows up, which is always cool in a game. They hunt you pretty well, and it's fairly easy to get away. It's not terrible. They don't like. It's not like Benny Hill, where they relentlessly run after you.
Sorry, let me just write that down. You're saying Horizon Zero Dawn is not like Benny Hill?
It's not like Benny Hill.
Okay.
No. So yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I know I sound like
it is like The Witcher.
Only very slightly like
50% like The Witcher.
No, it's not. It's only very slightly like The Witcher. And it hasn't got a cool noise when you level up that I can see so far. I know. Why hasn't it got a cool noise, man?
If you was to pick a noise, what would it be?
Whoop, whoop, woo! Who knows what it would do?
42:58. I'm writing it down.
I'm trying to not laugh so Duke could have a clean cut of it, but I couldn't.
Oh, it was a beautiful clean cut. I'm getting that. Actually, I think if it were a level up sound, it would probably sound something like this.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, probably.
That would be good. That would be good.
That would be a good noise.
Yeah, that's what...
Yeah, I don't know what noise it would make.
I'd love the meeting. Right? Okay. Mr. Sound Guy, I know you've been working on some stuff, but we need to level up now.
I have one ready to go.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
What do I have in mind? Here it's got power. It feels kind of epic.
Kind of. I feel like it's been done before. I feel like.
Okay. What about this one? This one's a little more laid back. This is something we could do instead. That feels like it's
I agree. I agree. I just feel like maybe it's a bit Fallout-ish to me.
How about this one? That's really got a kind of epic, and it feels like it's sort of tribal, right?
I'm kind of thinking that you haven't done your job here, and you've copied other people's sound level up things.
Well, how about then we just go poo poo?
Love it,
Perfect.
print it, done.
Perfect. It just may be that I haven't got far enough into it yet. I am very, very much at the very beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
There's a lot of
people. There's more to come of Stu's recommendations.
Do the robot dinosaur things have penises?
Not that I've
Let's get to the really important question here.
This is what everybody wants to know.
And also, right?
And do they have a slider so you can make them big, like in Conan Exiles?
Not that I've seen, no.
Right.
Well,
this game's going to be a pass from me.
Here's another minor annoyance. You know when we played the demo?
Yes.
We didn't really like
for the record, we played the demo at the last EGX, which there's a video on YouTube, you can watch it, and we didn't love it that much because it was quite a restrictive demo. Go on, Stu.
Very restrictive. But within that, you could tame I think they're called a flathead or something like a broadhead.
Okay.
And you could ride on them, couldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, not at the beginning of this game, so you have to literally run everywhere.
Okay.
And it's like, for God's sake, why couldn't they have just put some broadheads or whatever they were called in the beginning of the game? So at least it shows you, you can mount one of these and away you go to get places quicker. But no, got to run everywhere. So annoying. It's like, why? It's just a little thing, but it's like, why didn't they just do that? Beginning of nearly every game like that, you get a horse, don't you, normally? Because obviously that fits with the game. With this, it's these broadhead things. It's just like, just give us one of them at the beginning of the game or one in the area when you're doing the tutorial. This is how you ride an animal. Sorted.
Yeah, but they want you to have the fun of exploring on foot first.
Yeah.
I guess.
They want you to appreciate it when you do get a steed.
I guess so, but sometimes you just want to get places quicker, don't you?
Well, that's true. That's life.
I know, yeah. I ain't got no time for that, man. I'm the YouTube generation, not really, but
You don't watch YouTube.
Exactly. I just want to get places quicker. I ain't got no time.
I don't know about YouTube. I watch Beam.
Everybody's watching Beam. I want you to go to in one of your classes that you teach, Duke, and go, who caught that stuff on Beam last night?
Exactly.
Just watch the room erupt.
Like a bit of Beam.
Yeah.
But like I say, it is quite slick as far as combat goes. That works pretty well. Climbing looks nice, when you're climbing up stuff.
The chat on Twitch are saying that it's about 3 to 5 hours when you get that ability shoot, and it's a 40-hour game. So you've barely scratched the surface.
That's true. But I just want to ride on something and get places.
Be
I don't
patient.
Want to wait 4
you
hours.
want to fast travel instantly.
5 hours.
And there's many times you want without having to craft something. You want to zip around on your little flathead. Life isn't like that.
Yes, no. I just want a horse.
You would fail the marshmallow test.
I want a robot horse to ride on. Why can't I have one of those?
You will. Calm down.
And
you sound like my students. I want to be done with high school.
And
Stay here as long as you can.
And the most annoying thing of all, it had subtitles enabled at the beginning of the game. Why?
Well,
Why did you do that?
To be honest, I would put the game in the disc. I'd throw it at the person that sold it to you. And find out where they live and burn down their house.
I hate you and everyone in your family.
I would have said probably 98% of people who are going to play this game probably won't be deaf. So they're not speaking in a foreign language.
That's not the point, Stu. Some people really like having subtitles on when they play.
Some
I agree that it's default off.
Yeah.
I think they should ask you when you start the game up the first time, but they don't.
Exactly.
I've heard that the game has good sort of UI controls. Like you can turn and tweak pretty much every little bit of UI on or off.
Oh, don't know. I haven't looked into that.
You should look into that, Stu, because I believe you can turn things on.
Subtitles. I'll turn the subtitles off in about 5 seconds.
Well, that's fine. But apparently, you can turn the UI is very customizable. So yeah, that's interesting. I just want to announce that there is a person on Beam, and
Bill Gates trying to act like it's cool.
It's Zeryug, and he was just watching on YouTube. He's just humouring us. He's going over to Beam and saying Beam is the best. Stop it! Stop hijacking Beam. No one likes Beam. Get off Beam.
Beam doesn't need your pity access.
Indeed.
But it looks good, so that's a good.
Horizon
positive.
Does look good.
It does look very nice, and
I'm
it controls well.
I'm still torn. Duke, torn.
What? I'm not. I'll play it eventually, but I'm not torn.
Yeah,
it's good because we have to pay Natalie Imbruglia a lot of money every time we play that song.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm still torn whether when I do my Dirty 35, whether there she is. There's $4,000. Yeah, so I'm still torn about whether I'm gonna get a PS4 or a Switch when I complete my Dirty 35. But Horizon is a good case, but Zelda.
Ooh,
it's
Zelda.
tough. It's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I am enjoying it more than Far Cry Primal anyway, though. So
yeah, Far Cry Primal wasn't great.
No, so that's a good thing.
Cool. Good. Well,
That's
I'm glad
they
you're
weren't
playing a
robots
game.
you were fighting. They were actual animals and monsters.
I'm glad you're playing a game that you're enjoying, Stu.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. Right. Other than that, I have played some other stuff. I am continuing to play Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
I'm quite a bit further into that now. I'm about 5 hours in, so I've not got much more. It's about 3 hours left. I think it's about 8 hours to finish that, 8 to 9 hours. So I'm away into that. It's still cool. It is cool, but it is a bit depressing. It's a very melancholy game, I guess is a good way to describe it. You know, because it's set in a sort of very downtrodden little town that's, you know, developers have moved in and all the main, you know, there's a big superstore just outside of town now and all the little stores within the town have had to close down and things like that.
Sounds like the plot of Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It reminds me of like a Stephen King novel. Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of small town.
Yeah, so does it take place in Bangor, Maine?
Yeah. No, it isn't, no. And there isn't a Sheriff Pangborn that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun.
Called Sick Balls?
No, not that I've noticed. But I am building a relationship up with B. So it's B that I'm sort of getting friendly with and not so much. And there was it's kind of interesting, actually. I ended up having a big argument with B about her dad. Because her dad runs one of the stores in town, but he's a bit depressed. So he doesn't do anything anymore. And she's had to take over and run it all for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, the argument was my character said, like, you shouldn't let him do that to you. You know, you should sort of stand up for yourself and go, look, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing.
It's not on.
Ooh, it's on, all right.
I'm not doing this all on my own, and you should tell him. And she's like, well, why should I tell him? Because, you know.
Tell him to fuck right off.
Yeah, so anyway, it ended up in this big, and then she's like, just go. And there wasn't a good answer, you know, it gives you options to what you want to reply, and none of them were good.
Why are you so cold, Stu?
I know. It was always going to end up in a bad way.
So with Night in the Woods, is it a multiple choice ending? Do you feel like there's different endings going on and stuff like that, or?
I don't know. I don't know whether the endings change. I do know you don't see certain scenes depending on sort of choices that you make in the game. So there's stuff that, because obviously if I don't hang out with Greg, which I'm not doing, then I won't see some of the scenes that I would have had with him. So I do believe it's worthwhile playing it through a few times, just because of different people you can hang out with and obviously different storylines and stuff that you'll see. But it's kind of cool. It's just sort of kind of like a snapshot on living and life, really.
L-I-V-I-N.
Yeah. It's sort of like, there is a little bit of story now. I'm seeing stuff. But you had to take part in this big play for Harvest Fest. Harvest Fest? I don't know what that's. Or Harfest. Is that a big thing in the States? I don't know what that is.
Nope. I have no idea what that is.
It was done on Halloween. So they had this Halloween, this Harfest, whatever that was. And they sort of did this play about witches and stuff. And you had to take part in it and choose the right line.
That's not a thing in America.
Oh, well, there you go. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. It is a cool game, but it's not going to make you feel happy. so it depends what you want out of your games, I guess. And then very nicely, a man. Well, I assume he was a man. It could have been a lady, a man or a lady. Let me have a look at the name of the person who sent me this.
Sexist. Hate crime.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's just from Wisp Fire. Oh, it's Ron van der Shielden. Ron van der Shielden or Roy van der Shielden. There you go. I don't know. That's his
We don't
name.
know what your name is. We don't care.
we do. But he sent me a very personal email. Don't know where he got my name from, but he's like, "Ahoy, Stuart Fowler. My name is Nick, and I'm a developer working at Wispire."
Oh, you said his name was Ron. Why don't you
I thought
make
it
up?
was. I looked at the bottom first. Should have looked at the top, I guess.
You
Anyway,
lie.
it's from Nick. He's working at Wispire, a Dutch indie studio, and they've just launched a game. And he sent me a Steam key, and he went, "Can you play my game and tell me what you think about it?"
Nice.
So I was like, "Oh,
I
that's
also
very
have
kind of
Steam. If anybody wants to send me Steam keys, I probably won't
Yeah.
play your game for like a month, but
Yeah, but he addressed it to me personally, so it's not like, before you two start going, we could have had the key or whatever. So I thought,
Don't worry, I'm looking at gameplay of this game right now, and I dodged the bullet.
I recently changed my name
it's-
legally to Stuart Fowler, so I could have gotten the key.
It's actually not that bad. so there you go.
That's
I know
interesting.
that's not, again, I'm not very far into it. I played a little bit of it.
So what is it? So what's it called?
It's called Harold. Is the name of the game? An interactive period drama.
Okay.
So that's its
Why
subheading.
didn't send it to us because he knew we wouldn't go for it.
No, it
It's
wouldn't
too
go for an interactive period
Well,
drama.
I'll say this about it. It looks very nice in terms of
Art
graphics
style
and
is-
style.
Art style is lovely. Looks like it's all hand drawn. Really lovely. You can see they've spent a lot of time on making this game look really,
So what's
really
the
good.
problem?
I didn't
what's
say
your-
there was any problem.
What's your problem, Stu? What's
Why do you
voice
hate
is
Nick, aka Ron?
It's all fully
AKA
voice acted. So it's completely fully voice acted. Every character's voice
okay?
acted.
So I don't have to read. This is good. Yeah.
Why did
You don't
give it a
have to
0
read.
out of 10, then?
Yeah, it's not the best voice acting in the world, right? But it is only a little indie studio, so we can forgive them that.
Yeah.
Slightly, little bit wooden, slightly, not hugely though. It's not awful. It's not
Right.
awful. And it's interesting so far. So you kind of end up on a little ship, and he's telling a story. He's basically been captured. So you've been captured by this woman. I'm not entirely sure what she is or what she's got to do or anything, but you've been captured, and she's questioning you, and you're telling her the story in flashbacks of what happened to you.
Ah.
So it's kind of cool. I like the way it opened, and then it's like, and this is what happened, and then it obviously cuts to the ship and when you first arrived on board, and then it's you just doing the daily sort of grind of working on a ship, really. And you've got to take orders, you've got to go and fulfill duties.
If I
You
worked
can
on a ship,
choose-
I would never take orders. Batten down that mizzen mast. No, you do it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. The person who was in charge of me, I just told him to get lost. I was like, get lost,
Eat my ass.
do my own stuff.
That reminds me of the Eddie Murphy joke where black people always say if I was a slave, I would have told them where to do it and where to go. And he says, yeah, the first person off the boat said that, and look what happened to him.
Really certain that he tried that.
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of in the the vein of Telltale in the way it's sort of animated, and you walk around, interact with people.
Batman's in it.
Yeah, Batman's in it,
Oh, cool.
and everybody's got something to say. So yeah, it's kind of all right.
If
It's
you was
not
to compare it
terrible.
to something else, Stu, what would you compare it to? Harold. I didn't know.
Harold.
Harold.
I don't know what I'd compare it to because it's not like sort of anything else.
To
I've
me-
played.
No game you've ever played before, says Stuart Fowler.
I mean, mechanically wise, it's like a Telltale game.
To me,
Although-
but it looks like it plays out like a Phoenix Wright game. The way the characters pop up at the front, because you've got the scene in the back, but then the characters pop up at the front, like a profile. Of them.
Yeah, and when they talk, they actually are animated in the background as well.
Yeah.
Sort of the lips are moving and all that. So it's very well made.
Yeah.
It is very well made, but I'm just waiting to get.
Well,
into
why
the
do you hate
story. I don't hate it.
Yeah, why do you
I
hate
don't
it, Stu?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It looks okay, and it plays okay, and like I say, I'm only very, just started it. I'm probably about half an hour, 40 minutes in. So there's probably a lot to go yet, you know, and there's 2 parts and the other 2 are coming. So I'll report back as I get further into it.
You do that.
I will do. And then the final thing I played was a recommendation by Jason Glarr, which is called Dandy Dungeon.
Okay.
Oh.
And this is a handheld RPG puzzle game.
Okay.
If that makes
For what
any
platform?
kind of sense. It's on iOS and also on Android, so it's available on both platforms. And it's what a freemium game, you know, sort of install and play it, so you don't have to pay up front, as it were. But I haven't come across a point yet where I've had to buy anything with real cash, so that's always good.
Yeah.
And I've been playing it for quite a while now. I've probably put in, you know, a few hours while Kay's watching something on the telly that I don't want to watch. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool. You've got to, you know, like the dungeons, it's all automatic sort of combat. You know, it comes up to an enemy and it just does it. And you've just got to interact by giving them health or casting spells, which you pick up in the dungeons as you go along. So anything, it's kind of a roguelike, because you keep, anything you get, you keep. But then obviously you start at level 1 again when you start going through the set. If you go through the same set of dungeons, you always start at level 1, and then it levels up as you go through them. And it's got quite an interesting and cool meta story. So you're basically a computer programmer who jacks his job in and wants to make his own game at home instead.
Okay.
And as you go along, he keeps adding in extra features, and you're like the one testing it out for him.
Gotcha.
So you're debugging his game. So every time he adds in a new feature, you play through a dungeon again for him to see if it works.
Interesting.
So it's kind of a cool little meta thing that's going on. So yeah, it's a cool little game. Give it a go. Dandy Dungeon. It's free to play, so nothing to lose, I guess. You got nothing to lose. Get it played on, you know, iOS or Android on a tablet or whatever.
Yeah, make it happen.
There you go. Yeah, make it happen. So that's kind of it for me this week. So yeah, I've been playing a bit of Horizon. Not enough really. I only got it yesterday, so yeah. Sorry if I sounded a bit down on it. You know, I don't want to sound like too negative. But...
No, I just understand you hate Harold. That's the main takeaway here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want the developer to catch a disease.
I do
not die,
know.
but just be sick.
But yeah, it's very kind of.
Why did you say those things, Stu?
I know, yeah, exactly.
You were talking about his grandmother too. I assume you're going to edit that part of the discussion out, because that's just
definitely.
Yeah.
Especially someone who's very kindly sent me one, you know, sent me a code and all that. And that's it for me. So yeah, shall we move on to you, Duke?
Yes, we shall move on to me, because I have been playing video games, and the number one game I've been playing is Rocket League, because it's awesome, and I'm back down to Challenger 1. Actually, I was bragging about Challenger 3 last time, and now I'm back to Challenger 1. But it's still an awesome game, and I think I'm doing a little better each time with the notion of, like, you know what? I messed up last game, but it's okay. I messed up last play. I can do better this time. It has to do with the stories that we tell ourselves. I think I'm going to write something for the site soon about that. But anyway, I don't have too much to say about that. Last time we talked about the beta for Wildlands.
We did.
Because the new Ghost Recon game is coming out this week, actually, 2 days from now. And it put me in the mood for one of those kind of open world, shoot 'em up, raid the base type games. So I went back to Metal Gear Solid 5, because that was the one I had played the most recently. And that's a huge install, of course. It's like 35 gigabytes. So I set it up overnight to load in again, and then I went back to it. And that is such a stealth game.
Oh, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is through and through a stealth game.
And it always has been. It's not like
it always has been, right?
Yeah, always has been.
So it's my bad for not thinking of it as a stealth game, because I thought of it as like an action game. And, you know, you tag people and you deal with people, because Wildlands is not really a stealth game. It's an action game. So I went back to Metal Gear Solid 5 looking for the same thing I'd gotten from Wildlands, to scratch that itch until it came out, and maybe until it went on sale. But Metal Gear Solid 5 isn't that kind of game. And for instance, I did this one mission where I was supposed to get a prisoner that these people had taken, and I must have looked around the camp for like 20 minutes, and there's this huge base that I couldn't get into because the doors were locked. And I assumed it was because I had triggered an alarm or something. Nope. The guy was just out underneath a canvas tent. And I was just too stupid looking around trying to get in the base I should have been looking around on the ground to see where is a guy tied up. So that was stupid of me. But then I did this other mission. It was a story mission, and there's this helicopter flying around. And as soon as I killed one person, because your suppressor wears off after like 10 shots for whatever reason. That was stupid. And then the helicopter's like, we know where he is. And it was like just taking me out. And I was like, I don't need this. So I uninstalled it.
So you lasted a long time then.
I lasted a very long time.
I thought you was liking this game before.
Yeah, I did.
I like it in general, but it was such a disconnect between what I was hoping for and what I got. So
It
if
wasn't
I remember
what you wanted to play at the time.
Exactly.
But didn't you put a lot of hours into this when you first played it?
I did put a lot of hours into it because I really got into the stealth aspects. But here's the thing. The more high stakes the stealth is, the more frustrating it is for me, and therefore the less I enjoy it. So, at a certain point for most of these missions, you get seen, whatever, you just plow down the enemy, right? But as soon as this helicopter's, circling over the camp, and then a tank showed up, I was like, what am I supposed to do now?
I don't know.
Exactly. So I was just like,
Blow up the
hide
tank?
from the tank, yeah, or blow it up.
Well, I didn't have anything to blow it up with. I guess I maybe
With
did.
your
I don't,
mind.
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was the other thing.
Psychic powers.
There were so many things I couldn't remember about, like how to tell quiet to attack people, and which buttons did what, and so it took me a while to readjust. And maybe if I went back into it, I could be like, oh yeah, I can drop an airstrike on the tank or whatever. I should do that. Or maybe I could find some way to take the helicopter down. But, at the time I was like, nope, I'm done. So I uninstalled it, and I decided it was time for Far Cry 4. Because I had bought this a while ago on a summer sale or something like that.
On a drunken
and never
whim.
installed it. What's that?
Was you drunk?
I was very, very drunk and high on meth
Sweet.
and ayahuasca.
Awesome.
So it's not my fault. But yeah, so I'm playing Far Cry 4, and it's really good. It's
It
just
is
like
really
Far
good.
Cry 3,
It's very
except it's in India instead of Brazil or wherever.
Have you have you started the golden path yet?
I have. Every time somebody says Golden Path, I think of Chinny's, version of that. And it's interesting because you're actually a child of India. You're not this, gringo who was on vacation and now you've become a super soldier. Instead, you're an American guy of Indian descent who goes back to India, and it's about the identity of, you split because you're a Desi, but you're American. I guess you weren't American born, but anyway, you're kind of an ABCD. Yeah. And the guns are great. It's such an engrossing game. The thing, as I've said before, the thing I love most about the Far Cry games, going back to Far Cry 2, is that like when you get in a car, you don't just get in the car. Like it's a very fluid movement, and it feels very engrossing.
You never leave the first person perspective, do you?
Yeah, and you never need to. You never really want to.
Mm-hmm.
The hiding works well. It does cover, but it's not locking you into cover, which is very nice. I think, the setup is better than 3, so we talked about that.
So the setup was you just parachute in with your dudes,
Yeah, exactly.
and you're having
then
a party,
yeah.
and then shit gets fucked up.
And then the savage locals take you hostage.
Yeah.
I will say this, at the outset of the game, we need skippable company logos as soon as you start the game. I mean, your first time through, okay, it's not a big deal, but God, I hate it when you start a game up for the 10th time and it makes you watch the goddamn Nvidia logo again.
This is where I can chip in with my console peasantry and say I very rarely see a game start up anymore. Because
you have the pause function.
I just close it and then the game's exactly where I left it when I came back.
Yep, same on the PS4, man. So
Yeah.
good.
Fair enough. Anyway.
So fuck you,
the
PC
villain-
gamers. Fuck you.
Yeah,
PC.
fuck you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Fuck
but
me,
you know
because
what?
I'm a
Our
PC
graphics
gamer.
are better, or they would be for me if I had a better system. So.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
villain,
that don't work.
the villain in this game is actually pretty cool. I think it's funny. There's a part at the
He's
beginning
great.
where he's murdering people around you, but he's like, you have to try the crab rangoon. They're delicious. And then when you escape, I guess he calls you or something. He's communicating to you on a radio, and he goes, "Look, I'm sorry about the crab rangoon. I know it's not everybody's taste, but I had the chef killed."
So he's very, very good enemy. It's voiced by Mr. Baker, Troy Baker.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's very good.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. He's clearly an evil person, and his henchmen, including someone named De Pleur, which means of the crying in French. Yeah, you can tell they're pure evil, which is fine. But I have a feeling there's something about the golden path we're not being told, man.
Did you know that you can finish the game in 15 minutes? Do you remember that bit? Oh.
I did not.
So at the start of the game, he says, "Just sit down, and I'll be back in 15 minutes."
Oh, interesting.
If
If you
you
wait, finish the game.
Finishes the game.
Interesting. How about that? My second playthrough, I'll have to do that.
Do it.
So there's lots of different vehicles, and they keep adding things to it. So in this game, you have like jet skis and motorboats. And,
Yeah.
there's
What's the
also this
helicopter
little-
thing?
Right, I was just gonna say the little tiny helicopter is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Every open world game needs one of those.
You just get in. Off you
And
go.
you can go up, down, left, right. It's 3 dimensions, and it's so nice because especially when you get in a car and it's like 200 kilometers, and you're like, oh, sweet, I'm already there. But then you have to go around and around mountains and over bridges and stuff. And you're like, this is taking forever. With this little thing, you just go up and you're there.
Okay, we're back in the
Now-
board. We're back in the board meeting now. Right, we're working on Far Cry. We need some sound effects for this gyrocopter. What have
Okay.
we got?
How about this one?
I thought we fired this guy. Like, why is he using level up sounds from? And
All right,
it's
I
not
got a
even.
different sound effect for the helicopter. You ready?
Again, wrong topic. We're looking for a helicopter, small aircraft.
What about this?
Love it. Print it. Done.
The other nice feature they have is the auto drive function, which is not in any previous Far Cry game, and it really helps because it allows you, it's much easier to shoot other people while you're driving. Now they did have this in, I guess, GTA or Saints Row, or I know there's one of those games.
Saints Row had an auto driving function. Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about trying to do 2 things at once. Although in a way, it's more satisfying if you can pull off a drive-by shooting without auto drive. But yeah, I actually, because sometimes it'll set up a like a random mission right as you're driving around. It'll suddenly put like a courier in front of you, and then something pops up. It says, "Hey, kill the courier. Get karma, etc., etc." And suddenly it's like, "Oh God, I guess I got to do this mission now." And I did it, and I just barely caught sight of him before he drove past, and I fired off 1 shot, and I managed to get a headshot. And I was like, that's the greatest shot I've ever had. Oh my God. So that felt pretty good.
Did you save that clip?
I should have, but I don't have that ability on my PC.
Oh, you can do it.
Consoles.
If you have the
Console.
Nvidia thing, you can do it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Let me say this. Listen, game developers, you gotta stop pretending that I've learned a character's name the minute I meet them, okay? I have a bad memory for names in general, but when you have a game that's like, okay, I don't remember their names, Amitabh and Paraj, and it's like pick one or the other to go with, and I'm like, I don't know who's who, because I just saw them arguing, and I'm like, it's the guy or the girl. I don't know which one I'm supposed to. I mean, I know I want to go with the girl, but I don't remember her name.
It's funny you say that when I've been playing Skyrim, Duke.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't have to make. I guess you do at the beginning of the game. You have to make a decision who you're going to go with.
Well, no, it's not that. It's like, oh, remember when we met at the Fling Flock the door at 9? Yeah. Like, what? I don't know you.
Yeah. So 2 things I will say. First of all, having come off of Metal Gear Solid 5 because I was not looking for a stealth game, there are some missions in this game where it's not just that if you get seen, you're going to get shot at by 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
There are missions where as soon as you get seen, it's mission over.
Mission over, yeah.
Oh, I hate
I'm
that.
like, oh, it sucks. Because I was getting down to it. Like, I'd take out 3 of the 4 guys, and I'm ready to kill the last dude. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to worry about stealth. Oh, you got seen. I'm like, I'm gonna look. If the mission was don't let there be any witnesses, okay, that would be fine, right? Because I know you don't let witnesses escape. If the mission was, don't let them make a cell phone call because then they'll get, reinforcements or whatever. That would make sense. But it doesn't make sense to be like, don't get seen at all.
Well, that's an Assassin's Creed cast-off, isn't it? Because that used to happen a lot in that
Yeah, and I
game.
hated it then too. I'm just not good at stealth, so I don't like it when I have to do stealth. So whatever. Anyway, the other thing I have to say about this game is there are these Himalayan missions. Chinny, I don't know if you remember these. Did you play this game, Stu?
No.
Chinny,
I played a little bit of it, but not,
Remind me.
I never bought it.
So there's this one mission, and there may be more, but because it seems like a big part of the map that I just used for this one mission. Okay. You go it's for the crazy religious arms dealer dude, okay. And he wants you to go find these boxes that were in a downed helicopter. So you have to go with a Sherpa, and then it fades to black, and then it comes up again in this new area.
Right.
And you only have this one mission. It's snowing everywhere, so visibility is limited. You can't breathe very well, so you have to keep finding oxygen capsules.
I do remember that. Yes.
And then that's not enough. There's, lions and bears and shit climbing all over you.
Selfishly living where they were supposed to.
I know,
yeah,
terrible.
exactly. And that's annoying in the game in general. You're trying to sneak up on people and suddenly... And I'm just like, damn it, get off me.
That happened to me in Red Dead Redemption, where I was like sneaking up on these guys, and then just this fucking like cougar just attacked me, and I was like, this is not the time.
She was like, hey, let me buy you a drink.
Hey, baby, I got 4 kids and a bank balance. No, it's, I know it's kind of funny when that happens though, because it's just one of those things where the game didn't plan it.
Totally random.
Yeah. Right. The world is real because it's filled with things that can kill you. And I never remember to buy health injectors, so it's all the time.
Can you craft them? Do you craft them or do you buy them?
Yeah, I haven't really been bothering with the crafting. So again, like I should buy them. I should get the ingredients to craft them, but I just haven't been messing with it. Because the other thing is, I'm always like, I can heal myself without them, but it takes forever to heal yourself without them. Oh yeah. So I'm just like, I don't need it. And then I'm like, duh, I need some of those health things. So someday I'll get smarter when I'm playing this game.
I'm watching the game. I'm watching the gameplay of this, Duke, and I mean, I've been playing a lot of games that don't really involve guns lately. Yeah. And it just makes me really want to play a game with guns in it. Oh man, I miss guns.
Yeah. And the guns are great. The one thing that is annoying is, they've really limited the kinds of guns. I guess it was probably limited in Far Cry 3, but my main memories of that game are at the end when I had all the cool stuff. So, for instance, the thing with the stealth mission, I didn't have a gun with a silencer. Right. And in fact, you can't buy one for a while.
Can you use like knives and stuff, or is that just...
but what do I look like? I'm 7. I don't know why I would be 7 using.
I don't know, stabbing people in the face at 7. Is that what you did?
Do that when you were 7?
Did you grow up around Florida, Stu?
Exactly. Zing. So anyway, whatever. Like, but if they've got 2 menus to buy guns, and one is the regular gun buying menu, and one is the special guns. And a lot of guns you can't put a sight or a suppressor on, which is stupid to me. But whatever. It is what it is. I finally have a gun with a suppressor, and I got a decent sniper rifle now. So I'm feeling like a badass, And it's that thing of like, the reason Far Cry 3 and 4 are awesome is because, well, one of the many reasons is, you come up on a compound and you're like, oh man, they have no idea what's about to happen. You're tagging people. You're like, where is the tiger in the cage? Where is the call box? And once you get it all figured out, it's just like, bam, take out the call box, boom, let the tiger out, throw, you have that thing in this game where you can throw the bait, and then more monsters will jump in and go after the dudes.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
I
But
played a lot of this in co-op, Duke. So it's
Oh,
it's a lot of fun in co-op. How do you
bet.
like the gliding thing?
I haven't really done much of that. The wingsuit, you mean?
Yes, the wingsuit. Yeah.
I only used it twice so far, and the first time I used it, I didn't realize what the I got the buttons mixed up. So I was gliding, and it was great because I had to come down from this mountain. I was like, yeah, and then in order to, basically land, you're supposed to hit the control button. But I was used to thinking that space was land, so I hit space, and I guess that's jump, which when you're in the wingsuit means just stop using the wingsuit now. So I was still up too high, and I'm dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whoops.
Wasn't this the game where with the wingsuit you could sort of fall about 15 feet and die?
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just just take off and land almost instantly and you're dead.
Yeah. But it's just really a good game. I'm liking it a lot. And it's a big open world. The one thing that is kind of annoying so far is that there are these bigger compounds, like the one owned by Le Pleur, and it says very hard, play in co-op to even the odds or just finish more of the story missions. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do that. Like, it feels, I've cleared most of the map near that area, and I feel like I'm ready to take it on, but I'm not because I haven't, reduced the difficulty, I guess, by doing enough story missions. But whatever, it's a pretty minor gripe. And like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So big thumbs up for Far Cry 4.
There you go. Something I should have mentioned earlier about Horizon Zero.
Now.
I know Horizon Zero Dawn, which I didn't. It's very impressive that Guerrilla Games has made this off the back of mainly making first-person shooters.
What else?
Mainly.
What's it called? Killzone.
Yeah, all the Killzone series. So to go from sort of making Killzone, which is pretty much on the, and I don't know what else they've made, whether they've made anything outside of that really.
I think Chinny will have answers for us in a moment. It sounds like he's looking up.
It probably is. But to make a massive open world game is pretty impressive. To go from sort of always first person shooters to something completely different for them.
Sure.
Yeah. Not totally different in the scheme of video games, but certainly different from their perspective.
Right.
So there you go. So
They made a game in 2004 called Shell Shock Nam 67.
Never even heard.
PlayStation 2, Xbox and Windows, and then they made Killzone, Killzone Liberation, Killzone 2, Killzone 3, Killzone Shadowfall, and then Horizon Zero Dawn.
There you go. So it is pretty impressive to do something completely different. You know what I mean? And I think that's possibly why there's a lot of influences from a lot of other open world games within it.
Yeah. You've talked about the game already.
Anyway, done. Right, Chinny, over to you.
How dare you? Still playing Skyrim?
Yay!
Still doing that thing.
How's that going? I
have to write down what I do now in Skyrim because I forget. Because the game's so forgettable, dude. No, I just forget. Like when it comes to the show, the last 2 or 3 weeks, when I go right, well, let's talk about Skyrim, and I just completely forgot what I've done in it. So
I killed some things with a sword. I don't know.
Cast a spell. Fire shooted out of my hands.
Pretty much. So this
I'm
is.
a dick.
So I'm a dick, and so I've been doing
my dick.
Dark Brotherhood stuff.
Yeah.
So I went into the Dark Brotherhood, and I think I talked about that last week.
You did.
And I've been doing some more
The hideout shithole.
Dark Brotherhood stuff, and so I went in there, and they gave me a mission to sort of. I had to follow a dude. I stole. I don't know what was going on, right? But for some reason, he found it upon himself to tour 3 or 4 towns, and he just keeps wandering around these 3 or 4 towns.
Oh right, he does a circuit of those towns, and you have to meet him when shows up. The other. So
an optional quest on this quest line is to steal his schedule from his house or the guards.
He has to check on the troops. He's one of General Thomas's men. So
I went in. So you got all that. I didn't. Right. I was like, why is this guy walking around all the place? God, he must be tired. So what's he doing, dude?
Do you think that about postmen when they come around to a house? Why does he go into that house every day?
No, but at least they're carrying stuff and delivering stuff. I don't know what this guy is just literally just.
You don't know that he's not delivering stuff. He might have something in his pants.
What is he doing?
He's delivering stuff to the ladies.
Well, what is he doing now, dude? What's he supposed to be doing?
I don't know. Anyway. like checking on people. He's like a military dude.
Okay, so I go
Taking
into his place, his outpost, and
Yes.
I steal the schedule, but there's a guy in there, so I had to shoot him in the face, and wasn't very proud of
Take
it,
that guy
but I
in the
did it.
face.
So I got the schedule, and then I kept on like missing him. Like I was like, right, he's going to Solitude, go to Solitude. He's fucked off. Like, all right, okay. And then on the map at one point, he was just in the middle of the fucking river. I'm like, Jesus Christ, doesn't he think about?
Yeah, he went for a swim. He gets tired out doing all the checking in on
surprised.
military stuff.
Sounds like
He
he's
just
doing
enjoys.
a triathlon around the lands of Skyrim. Anyway, so I go to Windhelm and I wait for him in Windhelm, and then for some reason he just never went in. He just walked up to it and then walked off. I'm like, okay, great.
You know what? I decided I'm not going to check on these guys this week. They're probably
He's just
fine.
dodging me. He's just dodging. So then I get to Whiterun. So Whiterun's sort of my hometown in the game, and he comes out of the Dragon's Reach, which is the sort of Earl's. Listen to me, I'm saying all these stupid words.
Dragon's Reach.
So anyway, he comes out, and there's not really an opportune time to kill him because there's lots of witnesses and stuff.
Yeah.
So I managed to find a window where I could shoot him in the head with an arrow, right?
Ah.
This doesn't kill him straight away, but for some reason he didn't really know who did it.
I heard something.
All right, and he's like, "Oh,
Sticking out of his head.
must be the wind," with an arrow sticking out of his head. And Lydia, who's with me, decided to join in.
Oh, it's on now. Let's do this.
So Lydia attacked.
Is this what we're actually watching at the moment? You doing this?
This is me nicking the schedule on the video.
Yeah,
right?
because it's like you shot the dude in the face, and then he just stood up like nothing had happened.
Yeah, that's what a lot of Skyrim is. So anyway, this guy that I'm trying to assassinate, I shoot him in the head, and he goes, "Huh, must have been the wind or whatever." And then Lydia just gets a sword out and goes, "It's on, motherfuckers!" Right. So she starts hitting him, and then to the townspeople, the story is just like, "Why is that poor lady getting hit by that man with an arrow sticking out of his head? That is outrageous." So they all chip in, right? And so basically the whole town is against this guy, right? And they just started whacking him. And
assassinate him.
all I had to do was when he was down, because when he was down, it was like the last bit of life stew, so he's just down, but they won't finish him for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
So I just had
They're
to.
not murderers. Come on.
So I had to just give him the last whack just to make sure he's dead. And everybody around me is like, yeah, good one, like, yeah, show him, prick. So that was how I killed him. And you had to kill him in a busy town because of, I don't know. And then you plant a letter on him.
Because of course you would. If you were an assassin, you'd always kill someone in a very busy town. That's how this thing works.
You have to plant a letter on him, which makes him look like he's killing somebody else. So you frame him basically, and if you kill him in a big town, he gets found. He's more likely to be found.
Yeah, found quicker.
Exactly. So
I must say that thing in Skyrim and it happens in Fallout 2, where if you commit some sort of violence in the city, everyone starts bum rushing you and taking you on. I don't think that would happen in a lot of cities.
Well, that's not true because
take someone's purse and it's like, hey, everyone, let's get him.
I had see this on the video now. I shot someone in the back of the head, and I didn't want it to look like murder, so I put a lot of bottles around him, so it looked like he got pissed and died of alcohol poisoning. Anyway, talking about that, how everybody in the town got ape shit. I had a mission for the Dark Brotherhood where I had to go to a wedding, and I had to, for some reason, I don't really question it, to be honest, but they said, can you shoot an arrow in the bride's face during the most precious moment of her life? And I go, fine, no problem. No big deal. Anything? Anything? Yeah. Anything else? You want me to piss on her? So naturally, I contemplated. Is this the right thing to do? Laughed and then did it. Oh, I want to point out on the screen right now is a guy chopping wood without wood or an axe. So that's good. Nice. So I'm at this wedding. I shoot this woman in the face while she's presenting, addressing the crowd, and a few people sort of go, like, why did you do that? So a few people, like, oh, you can't do that, and I ran off and I went round the corner and no one gave a fuck, really. And then I ran out of the town and that was that. No one really cared. I got away with it. It was fine. So that was that. Then there's a chap called Cicero in the Dark Brotherhood, and he's quite a jolly fellow, let's say.
Yes.
And he's a bit weird, and he
Had you met him before you got
yeah,
to Dark Brother?
he was talking to a coffin when I met him, so that's always a good start point on a relationship. So I was already thinking he was off kilter. Anyway.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Yes, the kindly stranger can certainly help.
That's the one. And yeah, so Cicero is a bit weird, and he talks to like dead people in coffins and stuff. And he stabs someone and then runs away. So then you go and find him, and he's talking to you. For some reason, he talks to you in a very large dungeon, even though he's in one room at the back. And I don't know how he does that. Whether he's installed some sort of microphone system in the dungeon, or he's adjusted the acoustics very well. But anyway, he's dead.
By the way, spoilers for the Dark Brotherhood questline.
Oh yeah, spoilers for a game that came out 6 years ago.
Not if you got the revamped version, it didn't.
Well,
anyway, go on. Talking to Cicero.
I don't really know what's going on. Anyway, I killed Cicero. You can let him live or kill him. I killed him because he was a prick.
Yes.
So I killed him.
Correct answer.
And then I went back, and I went, "Yo, he's dead. What go on now?" And they went, "I don't know. Let's kill the emperor or whatever." So I had to go to I went to a party, and I had I had to pose as the gourmet, and I had to kill the real gourmet and put him in the water, and then I poisoned a dude, and then it wasn't the real dude, and the real dude showed up and went, "Ha ha ha ha! You thought that was me, but I'm totally."
You killed my decoy.
That was my decoy. Lols, Lameo, and then he says it was all a ploy. One of your Dark Brotherhood people set you up. Fuck you. So I got out of that, and then I went back, and the Dark Brotherhood is fucked. Like everything's on fire. It's all fucked. And the person that sort of grassed us up, she's sort of, let's just say she had a really good tan in the fire.
Her name was
Astrid. Yeah. And she says, you've got to finish me off using this particular blade. And I went, oh no, this is a really whatever. I'm bored. So I killed her. And
did you use the particular blade, or did you just kill her in? Oh, you did.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
Yeah, whatever. So I did that, and then this other guy was like, well, that's the Dark Brotherhood done. And I went, nah, we can still kill that Emperor or whatever. And he was like, really? And then that's where I'm at.
Sorry, did you have the hiding in the coffin moment already? Or is that after that?
Yeah, no, that's when the whole thing's burning down. And by the way, there's a corpse in a coffin, and it goes,
Night Mother.
The Night Mother. She's like,
the Night Mother. That's from Oblivion, too. You remember the Night Mother in Oblivion, Stu?
Yes, isn't that how you get the unbreakable skeleton key off, or is that in the Dark Brotherhood
I don't
quest?
know when you get the goddamn unbreakable skeleton key. Someday you'll talk Oblivion without talking about that goddamn skeleton key.
Anyway.
Best thing ever.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is,
I kind of remember.
I played Skyrim for the very first time, Chinny. That scene happened when you're supposed to get in the coffin, right?
Yeah.
And it all goes dark, but you still hear some things for a while.
Correct.
And then eventually people open the coffin.
That's right.
The game froze while everything was dark.
Yes. Okay.
But I didn't realize it had frozen. I thought it was just a really
They're really
long...
committed to this cinematic moment.
Being in the coffin.
How long did they want me to wait? Wow, this is intense. It was one of those moments where I was like, oh wait, I think it's frozen, but like I must have been looking at it for like 2 minutes.
Wow, they're really doing this in real time, yeah. Yeah, so you hide in the coffin to escape the fire. Anyway, that's that done. I did a little bit more of the main quest, but not really. I sort of just spoke to a woman, and she went, "We got to go here," and I went, "All right," and that was that.
So you still haven't gone to the Thalmor embassy then, huh?
No, I don't think so.
There's a big party you'll go to after changing clothes, but I don't think you've done.
Hold on, maybe I've done that. Oh yes, I've done that.
Oh, okay.
Sounds exciting.
I went
to the prison.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I went to a thing. I had to change.
I think I know what you're talking about. She wants you to go to the temple with the blades.
Probably,
maybe.
But yeah, I went to a thing. I had to give up all my stuff. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I had to wear some party stuff, party, and then I went downstairs, freed a dude, and that was that. Yeah, I really struggled with one bit of that part actually because
did you try to do it stealthy? Because I always tried, and I always
no. Look, there's a bit where you go outside into this sort of square area, and they always saw me every time, and it was really. As soon as they see you, they summon like a big. I don't know what to call him. He kind of looks like the big marshmallow man.
That's Ack.
Yeah, Marshmallow Man, and they summon like a fire bitch, which I call her, and it just kicked my ass really, and I was really struggling with it. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, Skyrim's good. I'm enjoying it, so I'm still streaming it live. So people want to watch me suffer. People, I have to say, YouTube is doing really well when I stream it to YouTube because Twitch, I get my loyal people that come in. You know, so Twitch are always familiar people. I'm really grateful for people that come in on Twitch. I know them, and they always come in and saying hello and how you getting on and all this. But YouTube is always random people, and I have to say most of the time they're really nice, and they're just fans of the game and they're coming in, and so YouTube seems to do a really good job of just finding random. So if you're a streamer, if you stream a podcast or anything, I recommend streaming to YouTube as well because it's good.
And don't forget Beam.
Yeah, don't forget Beam, man. Most popular thing.
Beam.
Fucking Beam. So I did play a game on my Dirty 30.
Skyrim.
No, well, yes, technically that's correct, Duke. Well done.
Another game. Well, oh my god.
You get a point. So I played another game on my Dirty 30, which is called the Stanley Parable.
So did you have this, or did you use my copy?
I bought it a long time ago.
It's on my list, man.
Yeah, but I bought it before that.
Ah, fine. I was going to say, so yeah, I thought you meant you just bought it.
The whole point of the Dirty 30 is that the games that you already own.
True. Yeah.
Okay. Are you done?
Okay. I'm done.
All right. So yes, the Stanley Parable, for people that don't know, is a game that it had a really good demo from what I heard, and Duke and Stu really enjoyed the sort of idea of the demo and thought that's a cool idea for a game. Can't wait for the game to come out. The game comes out, and Stu liked it. Duke didn't like it.
I liked it.
And it was a very.
I don't think it's fair to say I didn't like it. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. And. The game is all about it's kind of like a parody on games, so it's like
it's a meta game. How do you know you're not in a game now?
So it's doing what like BioShock did, but like a whole game of it, you know. And
like so smarmy. Sorry, I'll stop editorializing now.
So
yeah, let's see what Chinny thought of it, shall we?
So yeah, you know, the game starts off and it's all about, hey, it narrates you, and then he starts talking to you, and he went through the left door, and naturally you want to go through the right door, and then that obviously the game's already thought of that, and he says, well, even though he likes to waste time, he went through the right door, even to see this fantastic room, isn't it brilliant? And then once he's stopped messing around, he goes through the door on the left, and then you go carry on, and it's a game with multiple choice. But then it's also a game that makes you think that what is choice, you know, are you in control of what you play and all this. So it's a joke. The game's a parody and a joke. I would say it's a one-note joke that feels like it gets very played out very quickly. And I wouldn't say that it's not clever in certain parts, but it's not. I just found myself getting very frustrated with it because it just. I thought I would like it more than I actually did. I was up for liking this game, you know. I was, and it just felt really unsatisfying.
Well, that's because it's like on Fight Club when Tyler Durden talks to Jack about being clever.
Well, I get it. It's very clever. Thank you. How's that working out for you? What? Being clever. Great. Keep it up then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Keep it up. It just feels very unsatisfying to me, and I suppose that's the point, that it's not really supposed to end.
Life is unsatisfying, man.
Yeah, but it's still unsatisfying though. Doesn't matter if that's the point. It still is unsatisfying. If something's meant to be annoying, doesn't mean it's less annoying.
It's like the lame white guy rapping Like that joke was done like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so now if somebody makes a video where it's like, I'm a lame white guy, but I'm doing a rap, like you're still a lame white guy, even if you're doing it ironically. Like it's still a lame white guy.
I saw a whole YouTube channel character on that idea, and I was like, this is done. Jim Carrey did it years ago.
Out did it.
Yeah. So it's all done. But anyway, I feel like that it's a one-note joke that gets old very quickly. Some clever ideas in there, but I didn't have a great time with it. I just thought it was really flat and a bit frustrating, and I didn't even know that it ended when it ended, and I didn't feel like I was satisfied. I didn't feel like it had anything.
Really ends though, man.
There's about, to be fair, there's about six or seven different.
I don't care because
that's true. Don't you want to go back and experience them all?
Yeah.
Well, it says something. Like I don't have no desire to go back and play it again.
Sorry, Stu, but you're in the wrong here because
oh no,
against one.
This is what I thought of it. This is what I'll end with on the Stanley Parable. Take Portal, take out the gameplay and less funny, and you've got the Stanley Parable.
You see, the thing is though. Yeah. The thing is, though, the demo was very funny and very well done.
I agree. That's
it
true.
was. And I liked the game. So that was fine by me. It didn't seem to bother me as much as you do.
Oh no, it doesn't bother. I'm still sleeping at night, Stu.
I think the reason the demo worked is because it didn't take itself very seriously. And I think that the big problem with the Stanley Parable is that it takes itself so seriously. It's so caught up in like, we're going to have some clever jokes, but really it's about how you don't have control of your life and there's things that control. And it's like, who gives a shit? Make some jokes. Be funnier. They restrained the humor in order to make some deep philosophical point.
There you go.
That's how I feel.
I've also had an urge, an itch, a gaming itch this week.
Ooh.
I was listening to our friend Antonio, and he was on another show called The Entertainers, which is hosted by Carl and has Katie on there, and they had Antonio on there. And Antonio is a big player of Overwatch.
Yes, he is.
And for some reason, I had the urge to play Overwatch, and I could not stop thinking about Overwatch. Don't know why. I mean,
did you play it?
I played it before. You know, I bought it before. I played it before, and I thought it was good before. But for some reason now, I love it. I just absolutely love it. And I knew it was good. It's not like I didn't know it was good. The only problem with playing on the Xbox, and I don't really play with anyone. You know, I play on my own.
Right.
So I played with IP very briefly,
Cool.
and that was good. But I don't know. I just really like it, and I still haven't played every character. I don't really know the characters' names that I play.
It's been a while since I've played it, so like I'm on the Overwatch subreddit, and like they'll talk about characters, and I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
because they keep adding people, you know.
The characters. I mean, people can shout at me through their iPhones or whatever about these characters, but I like the one with the rocket launcher who can float up in the sky.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
She's cool.
Not Symmetra.
No, it's not Symmetra. She's
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh, yeah, that sounds right. I like sort of dwarf-looking fellow who can put turrets.
Bjorn.
I like him. He's cool. I like the hacker girl. I don't know what.
I think that's Symmetra.
I don't know. She was a new.
The one
character.
who makes the portals.
Say again.
The one who makes the portals.
No, she doesn't make portals. Maybe she does.
Oh, you mean Diva, the one who can rewind time.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
She hacks
No,
stuff.
Tracer.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But she's
describe
cool.
what she does. What's her attack like?
She hacks stuff. She has a small machine gun, and she hacks things. And she's purple.
I don't know who that is.
Purple.
Yeah. She's a new character. She was
Sombra. Probably.
Sombra. That's Sombra. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played her. I don't know any idea
I like
about
her. I play as Mercy a lot because every time I select the character, the game says, "You've got no healers."
Yeah, and you're a sucker, so you're like, okay, I'll do it.
But I don't mind playing the healer because you know, you get rewarded really well.
See, when I play a healer, I always have to be Lucio because I just like having the area of effect rather than having to actually aim my healing ray.
I tried Lucio because he rollerblades, so I thought
can't stop, won't stop.
But I didn't get on with him. I didn't get on with him at all, Lucio. I didn't click with him at all. But I enjoy Mercy and I enjoy Pharaoh. Is that her name? Farah. I enjoy those two characters the most. I like the Widowmaker character.
Widowmaker is awesome. I like the fact that Widowmaker has a assault rifle that becomes a sniper rifle.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so clever. Yeah, so I'm still.
Her grapple hook is really cool too.
Her grapple hook is very useful. Yeah, so I'm still getting used to it, and I try different characters now and again. But I don't know. I feel like I'm torn between trying new characters and mastering the ones that I like. So I don't know which. Sometimes I just don't know which one to do.
Yeah, I generally take the approach of like I'm gonna master somebody, and then when I get bored, then I'll try a new one.
Yeah, I think that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
The only tank I'm at all competent with is Reinhardt, and that's because he has a big shield. So I'll just hold the shield up, and then people will sit behind me and shoot, and I'm like, hey, I'm being useful to the team, I guess.
The amount of times I've gone into battle, like I actually once I just ran in so quick, and Reinhardt just charged right into me, and I was like, why? It's like there's like 3 other characters that are way bigger than me. And like, he just always seems to find me. I don't know why.
Well, that's the thing too. Is that it's so important to be able to play the other team. You have to look at who the enemies on the other team are.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, I love being Bastion. I'll jump in with my huge gun. But if you've got a Genji on the other team, I will still fire at him. I never learn. At no point will I go, I'd better not fire at him because he'll just reflect the bullets back at me. Nope. Eventually he'll get tired and put his sword down.
Yeah.
And then he just boop, 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 I'm dead.
Yeah, I haven't got good at that yet. I mean, I like that kind of paper rocks as a system from Halo Wars and stuff. So, yeah, I've been playing Overwatch. I should also mention that I've been playing Halo Wars 2 a little bit.
Oh.
A little bit. Not ready to talk about it yet, though. I've only played two matches, so I haven't got a fair grasp. So far, it's Halo Wars. It seems like it's the same sort of stuff. But me and Matt, my Halo Wars partner, had one game and it didn't go very well. But the way not because we hated the game, it's because we didn't know what we was doing. It's not there's not really a tutorial for the multiplayer. So yeah, I suppose the tutorial is the single player. So we you know, the way you make tanks is different from Halo 1, the way the currency works is different from Halo. So me and Matt were just a mess. And we got slaughtered, but you know we're confident that we're gonna pick it up. We just haven't had the time.
Happens.
Indeed. So yeah, I've not had a chance to sort of get right into it, but it looks like it's going to be good.
Don't have a review noise yet.
No, yeah, no, but it feels like Halo Wars, if that says anything. And that's me.
There you go. Well, I'll be honest, we've spent a lot of time talking about stuff we've been playing, so we haven't got a lot of time for news.
Shall we do super quick news?
Yeah, super quick this week. Super quick
just
news.
One sec. I've just got to eat something. 1 sec.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry.
What's it taste like?
Oh god, I was just eating a Nintendo Switch game.
Yeah.
Tasty.
And it wasn't very nice. That's right. Nintendo admits that they have made Nintendo Switch cartridges taste disgusting to prevent stupid people putting them in their mouths.
Mainly children.
Kids today.
What are children? Stupid people.
The reason I found out about this is because somebody asked on the subreddit Out of the Loop, why are there videos of people licking Nintendo Switch cartridges? And apparently it's because of the bitterness, which people didn't believe in, and so you have this phenomenon of streamers and Twitchers licking their cartridges.
Yeah, you do.
So they all say the same thing. Yep, it tastes nasty.
So in super quick news, Nintendo confirms that you can't switch save data. So you can't transfer your save data from one console to another. It's saved internally on the console. So fuck you. To people
that can't even just move it onto the SD card and still use it with that console.
Do that, even though you could do it.
Why, who cares?
Because I suppose if you if you
buy a new console.
if you lose your console, if it gets,
or
if it
breaks.
breaks or something like
No,
that.
that's true. That's fair enough. Okay, I just hadn't remember hearing anything about that with like Xbox.
Well, to transfer saves on, it's all your saves on the Xbox are in the cloud now. So every save that it's got on a hard
Switch
drive. Yeah. So if I switch on my account on another Xbox, it'll just flawlessly.
Wow, how modern thinking is that? I mean, surely the latest console would have that feature, eh?
It's pretty dumb.
I'm to be honest, people seem surprised. It's Nintendo. I'm never really surprised that they're backwards.
No.
There's been some Joy-Con connectivity with the left Joy-Con. So apparently the left Joy-Con disconnects quite a lot, and they've given
Joy-Con is the controller,
the little
for the
controllers for the Switch. Yeah. And their advice is a bit weird because I mean, what do you have around your console, Duke? Do you have what do you
Doritos,
have?
Mountain Dew containers, dental floss.
Do you have wires?
Yeah.
Do you have wireless devices?
Yeah.
Do you have a TV?
Yeah.
These are the things that they said that you can't have by the Switch.
Yeah, don't have them too close.
Also, you don't have any aquariums around.
Aquariums.
No, I do not.
Well, they've also said don't have an aquarium around there just in case.
What is an aquarium going to do for a controller?
Which is really inconvenient for me because I have a 20-foot aquarium in this room.
You actually play inside the aquarium, don't you?
Yes, that's
Apparently.
true. Also, let's move on. PlayStation Plus lineup for March is Tearaway Unfolded, which is a very good game by Media Molecule. Disc Jam Headline.
I've no clue.
Or is it Disc Jam? Disc Jam? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I think they were writing up the story and they had a problem with their disk drive and they just Disc Jam.
I suppose one of the other biggest news of the week, apart from the whole Switch thing, which is obviously a big deal, but Microsoft unveils a $10 a month gaming subscription. So it gives you access to a library of games for $10 a month, very much like a Netflix, but you don't stream them. I believe you just download them.
No, you just download them.
Depending on the.
Have them forever, or does it only stay on?
As long as you pay £10 a month.
As long as you're paying your $10 a month.
Gotcha.
So
over 100 Xbox One.
I think this is where things are going to go. I think this is probably the future of video games. Obviously, it's in the early days, so the library is going to be limited. But I think this is good generally, and I think PlayStation will probably follow, and maybe Steam or another PC model will develop where you get to basically just rent a rental thing like a Netflix thing. What do you guys think of it?
I think it
depends on the games. I mean, if they're good games, sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they've have the list of what's going to be on it.
But could you see, say there's 100 games and what, like 40% were decent, and then maybe the other, like another 60% was like shit, mixed between shit and I'll give it a try one day. Would you subscribe £10 or was it $7.99 or something for us?
Well, it'll still be probably still be £10.
Probably.
Especially for people like me who, I always take forever to get to them. There's some games I jump at right away, Conan Exiles and whatever, but mostly it's, Far Cry 4 came out 2 years ago. Okay, I'll finally get around to it now. Like, it just makes sense to do something like this.
It does make sense, yeah. Good. And then there is some other stuff, but yeah, I don't think one of them's quite long. Overwatch wins Game of the Year GDC 2017, so well done to Overwatch, and that's about it. Shall we just move on?
Yeah, let's move on. We have got an email.
Good.
To read, so we'll do that.
Something's happening.
Whoa, that ruled.
Right, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Is it Derek Sains?
It is. How did you know?
Hey, Derek Sains.
And he says this. Take no notice of those people behind the digital curtain. He says, hello again.
Play that.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah. Hello again, veteran gamers.
Where is it? Here we go.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
There you go. Remember back in day when DVDs first became popular?
He just wants me to play all my sound clips.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I still wish I was a kid again.
My first two DVDs were a double pack bargain of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace and Terminator 2.
Oh man, beautiful and terrible.
Yeah. What was your first DVD? What was the first thing you ever watched on DVD? Do you remember?
Yep.
I think it might have been Contact. Jodie Foster.
I remember mine very well. It was The Matrix.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
I remember my CDs very well, but I don't really remember which DVD I watched first.
Yeah, the first DVD I ever watched was Erin Brockovich, weirdly enough. So very odd.
Done. Blue-haired Choco Snips.
No, weird film to watch, but there you go. I'm sure I rented it from the local video store. You know, when they very first got DVDs in for rental.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. Anyway, he carries on. My PS2 was my first DVD player, which for me linked video games and DVDs for years to come. I mentioned this because after sorting out some boxes of DVDs and PS2 games, I realized that for a number of years, disc-based games tried to emulate DVDs by including enticing extras. Stuff like soundtrack CDs, making of game videos, concept art, game makers commentary, etc. The special edition versions of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on the PS1 and PS2 are great examples of this. Do you remember this, where video games came with separate DVDs?
I mean, I know that Valve has done a lot of commentaries for their games, and one of the coolest things I remember from Portal was going through it again, listening to the commentary they had.
Yeah. I think recently the only one I can think of that was similar to that was The Witcher 3. I know I keep saying it. But The Witcher 3 came
You've never really talked about
I know. With a soundtrack CD and like lots of little extra bits and bobs. So that was kind of... I mean,
that's kind of a standard thing on Steam now, is a lot of developers will allow you to buy the soundtrack.
Yeah, and sometimes you just get it, don't you, as part of the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, he carries on. I think that these days, with the dominance of digital downloads, the extras for games tend just to be DLC, free or otherwise.
Yeah.
But imagine watching a long-running branching path documentary about the making of GTA 5 or Skyrim or Yakuza 0, with an option to play any part of the soundtrack or access to game art and access gameplay tips from the developers themselves.
See, but I don't think I like that in the game. Like, I've watched the making of all the Bethesda games, and those are interesting to me to see how the ideas come about. But I don't want to do it while I'm playing the game. I just want to see it later as a feature.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily means you do it as you're playing the game, but it's in the menu, so it's available if you wanted to watch it. And there's no... I mean, now that they're on Blu-ray and they've got access to a lot of memory, then it's... You know, at one time... It was difficult, especially on the 360 and the PS3, because you had to compress the game that much just to get it on the disc.
Yeah.
Let alone add stuff to it. You know what I mean? I mean, not so much on the PS3, I don't suppose, because that was Blu-ray as well, wasn't it? But certainly more so on the 360, because that was just DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but with digital and storage and stuff, I guess it's not as big a deal. Digital. So, veteran gamers, were you ever interested in the extras that came with physical DVDs and video games? And if so, would you like to see the practice make a comeback, maybe as a reward for pre-ordering a game or buying a special edition?
I'll tell you this. In terms of games, I could take it or leave it. Most of the time, I don't really care that much. But in terms of movies, like the commentaries... It's few and far between, and it's true probably with games too, because a lot of times it's like, especially with movies, they're like, well, you know, I wanted to do this, and a lot of commentaries for movies, they're just talking about how, oh, this is a great scene, oh, this actor did a great job. It's like, shut up, nobody cares. But there are some commentaries that are really interesting. I think that Spike Lee's commentaries tend to be good because he's a very he's a thoughtful and very opinionated guy, so I always love hearing his opinions about stuff. And then, what was the other? Oh, yeah. So Ken Wilber and Cornel West, who are two really interesting philosophers, they did commentary tracks on all three Matrix movies. And they like changed my whole understanding of that trilogy. So I really like that commentary.
Yeah, I was going to agree with the Matrix. I was just going to say the Matrix had great commentary. And also, I was going to say also Fight Club. Fight Club was actually...
Yeah, exactly. Fight Club's another good example. Because I think the important thing for me is that a good commentary, like the writer or director, they can talk about it, and that's good. The guy who did Margin Call is also a really good commentary because that's about the stock market, and he talked about how much he had studied it. His dad was a Wall Street trader and stuff. And along those same lines, Gosford Park was written by, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the same guy who made Downton Abbey. And he had an aunt. What was it? Julian and Fellows. Thank you, Duchess. He had an aunt who lived in high society. I mean, she was that upper class type, social strata. And so he would talk about, the things he'd seen and the elements that he had pulled from it and the fact that they have 7 forks or all the rest of it. So it's just really interesting to me when people can bring in those things beyond just, well, here's what I was thinking when I was sitting behind the camera.
Yeah. That's pretty good. What about you, Chinny? Obviously, as a filmmaker yourself, have you listened to many commentaries on films? And
I wouldn't call myself a filmmaker. I have a job where
an artiste.
I have
You're
a job where
maker of films.
I have a job where I produce videos. Yes,
I shoot film things.
I make stuff. They are interesting. I do learn a lot from them actually, and it's really eye-opening. I remember the first DVD commentary I ever heard, which isn't, I suppose, that sort of important, I guess, but it was the Red Dwarf DVD commentary, right? And I just started learning a lot more about the show, and realised that the show wasn't flawless. There was jokes that were said that didn't hit, but they still made the show. And look, the actors were like, well, oh yeah, that joke didn't work. You can tell, look, they didn't laugh. And I'm like, wow, look, I thought these things were flawless. And you start to see the cracks, and they say things like, I still have that jacket. And so, like, I never even thought they would let them keep them. And it's really insightful. And then I got addicted to them. And I think one of the funniest commentaries I've ever heard is the Phoenix Nights commentary with Peter Kay. And friends, and they do talk about the show, and it was really cold here and da da da, but they're just cracking jokes and making each other laugh, and it's really good. And yeah, I just enjoy. I mean, I like watching commentaries to bad movies as well, like because I've been watching a lot of the behind the scenes of I've been watching Alien lately, and we all know that 1 and 2 are good, 3 is bad, right? And I watched all the behind the scenes, and obviously the behind the scenes for 1 is like, yeah, it was a passion project, we loved it, didn't think it would be a hit, it was a hit. 2 is like, the pressure's on now, how are we going to top the first one? We don't want to copy it. It was a hit. The third behind the scenes is the most interesting behind the scenes of all of them, because I was expecting them to talk about how great it was going to be, and we've got like this great story, and they're very, because it's all post, it's not during, and they're very open about it and going, this project was a fucking mess all the way through. They had a script. The film got pitched on an idea that got changed. So the planet, the movie was meant to start on a wooden planet run by monks, and then they changed it to convicts. And when they changed it to convicts, the director walked out. Fincher came in. He was young and keen because he wanted to do a movie. Yeah. They didn't have a script for the movie when they started shooting. They were building sets that wasn't in the script because they didn't have anything to do. Nice. They were at one point they had nothing to do, so all they did was made dead bodies. For the landing, when the spaceship crashes, and Higgs's body's in it, but you don't see his face. And the reason why you don't see his face is because apparently Higgs, the actor, I forgot his Mike something his name is, and his agent walked into the studio where they was making these dead bodies and saw, Higgs's dead body, and called him back and said, have you agreed to something that I don't know? And he says, well, that's the first I've heard of it. So they said, you cannot put my face in the movie. I will sue, because he thought he was going to be in the sequel, because he was told he was going to be in the sequel. So he's all bitter, and he admits, he says, I was really bitter, I was really young. And he said, if I knew it was David Fincher, I probably wouldn't have kicked off, and just said, just put me in one of your movies later on and I'll do it. But
that isn't.
Yeah, but then he said, but now they want to put, like, about a few months later, they said, we want to put your picture in the movie, so we can just you know, and he says, now you can pay me. Now you can give me some money for that. Because because they said, oh, we'll pay you off. And he says, no, it's not about money. It's about me as an actor. And you said you give me another shot at being in the film. But they said, when they put your picture in it, he says, no, now you give me money. And he got paid more for that picture than he did for the second movie.
That's awesome.
So just little things
brilliant.
like that. And to be honest, as somebody that makes films, and we have to deal with, I don't make films, I make videos, and it's just interesting to hear some projects. And we do about 20-30 projects all at the same time now, right? And some projects go really quickly, really smoothly. Some projects go really smoothly but not very quick. Some projects go really quick but really bad. Some projects go bad, long, and drag on, and all for different reasons. And it's really refreshing to know that it's not just us that do this. And you can I was totally relating to, like, man, like, you know, just wasn't connecting, wasn't feeling right, wasn't the right mood, just that's insightful. And I do miss that. I miss that about things like Netflix. And I played Tomb Raider Anniversary and got all the commentary from that, and that's really insightful as well. So I do miss it. I would like to see more of it.
The other thing I'll say about commentaries real quick is, if anybody hasn't seen the Spinal Tap commentary, it's awesome because it's in character. I think that's something that there should be a lot more of. You know, there's a lot of movies I would love to see the characters commenting on. I think it'd be really cool to have a Fight Club commentary.
I disagree. I think
you didn't like the Spinal Tap commentary?
No, I'm not that. I've not watched that one, but I prefer to have the
real deal.
The real deal, like how
the actual making of. That's fine. I think you could do both. And I think Spinal Tap lends itself very well. I think they should do it for all Christopher Guest movies because there's such interesting characters in there. But in the Spinal Tap commentary, it's so awesome because they're just the whole time they're complaining about how it makes them look bad. They're like, why have you got to show the plane crashing instead of the many times that the plane's landed? And the guy goes, was there a plane crash in this? No, I'm talking metaphorically, you know.
Yeah, well, it works for them because the whole film's off the cuff, isn't it? It's all ad-libbed. So I suppose with the Fight
and Harry Shearer and all of them, they do a really good job.
With Fight Club, you can't ad-lib, you know.
I know
Brad Pitt's character, you know, you just can't do it. So yeah, I suppose. But I like to know, why did they do this and why did they do that? And I just found it interesting that Alien 3, they was making sets, like amazing, beautiful sets. And there's like, where's this in the story? Like, I don't know. We haven't written it. I don't know. We're just bored. We're just making things.
It looks cool.
And when you watch the movie, it all shows because they couldn't work it out.
Sure.
There we go. So,
there you go.
Wow. The fact that Fincher was able to make a movie out of it was pretty impressive.
A miracle, man. It was a miracle.
Yeah.
And that's it for emails, the one and only. But we have got the resurgence of speak pipes. We have got 2 of those I've sent along to Duke. But you can't guess who they're from. Speak pipe! It's the way to leave a message for us.
You did?
I did tonight, yes. I've sent 2 earlier on this evening.
On email?
Yes, on email.
I don't have them.
Well, I sent them. I've got it here. Sent. Eric S. Piotrowski, forward, 8:09 p.m. Forward, 8:09 p.m.
Well, that's interesting. Let's see if we can figure out where they went.
Who knows? Which
do
is
something.
Oh, wait a minute. Has he gone to the wrong address? It's scartle at sbcglobal.net. Is that right?
Oh, you didn't send them to me.
No, that's
the wrong address. That's an old email address.
Wowzers. I wonder why it picked that as the one to send it to. How weird is that?
It picked it. I love how it picked it.
No, it is. It's one of those, isn't it?
I will send it here. Instead of you clicking on the wrong email address.
No, because when you start typing in it automatically picks.
Yes, but it gives you choices, doesn't it? It doesn't just automatically.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me do this now. Anyway, there's no point arguing. Let's do this. It's fine.
I'm not sending it again.
There's no point arguing because he knows he's wrong.
Gmail. There you go. No point arguing. There you go. I've sent one. There's one.
Reloading. There we go. Darth Lungs.
There you go. I'll send you the other one while she's queuing that one up.
This I never would have guessed. Letter to Jason. 35 seconds. Here it comes, people. for anybody who wishes to send us a speak pipe in the future, please begin it like that, because that's the perfect way to start a speak. In
Well, he's
fact,
got
let's
Darth
get that again,
lungs.
shall we? Yeah.
You veteran gamers. Stem J's dirty black lungs. Yeah. I don't think you have to worry about PI coming on your show anymore. He's going after Boss Wave.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Don't
Pretty
know.
crazy.
Don't know what that was.
But it reminds me of Futurama when they get the telecommunication from the Pluto or whatever when the garbage ball comes through. Oh man, that's not it. Oh well, whatever. And he goes, it's someone. The garbage ball flies past like Pluto or something, and the guy's like, horrible stench, can't breathe. And then the woman goes, the message cuts out there, sir. And then the message keeps going. I guess it doesn't cut off there. Anyway.
Did you know that we had a group photo at last year's EGX, Stu?
We did.
And did you know that the pub behind us is called the Little Owl?
Yeah, that's why we took the picture there.
Is that why we took the picture there?
Yeah, because of Jason.
Oh, right. I didn't realise
that was all. Yes, that was all arranged specifically for that.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't realise that.
That's so funny.
I just thought, wow, that's a massive coincidence.
No, it wasn't.
I have not just looked at the chat. On the Twitch chat, I didn't realize that there is this whole Lebowski thing coming on.
My rug.
Were you listening to the dude's story, Donnie? Walter. Were you listening to the dude's story?
I was bowling.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and wants to know.
Walter.
My
rug. Forget it, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Beautiful. Anyway, the other speak pipe we have is from Weird Listener. It's also Jason Gallard.
Magnum PI here. Yes, I know that some of you wish that I were dead.
I think we were supposed to play this one first, but whatever.
But I have come out of retirement. And I apologize if my past accusations were without merit. I realize some of you weren't guilty. And I'm going to put a lot of this on Verbal Rob's hair. Because the reason why I am stepping out of retirement, something I was never planning on doing. It seems that my communications to Piltreed at Pilchers and Cream this last episode were disrupted by some evil force. He had Verbal Rob's hair on, and I guess Pilch never got the warning. And now he's nowhere to be found. His show's been killed. Wouldn't happen to have any information, would you, veteran gamers? Or is it Verbal Rob's hair that's guilty? Trying to find out who killed Pilchards and Cream. PI signing out.
That was me, by the way, doing a live mix.
I know. That's what I was about to ask. Did you do that, or did he do that?
That was me.
Wow, impressive stuff. Well done, you.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, Pilchers and Cream. I mentioned it earlier. Is ended.
Did we kill it?
I don't think we killed it.
I don't think so.
And then I don't think Verbal Rob's hair killed it. Did it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Jason killed it. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe.
Or maybe he's just got other shit to do. Who knows? Maybe that's the reason. And that's it. We just need to do some shout-outs and get the hell out of here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Has it ever occurred to you that instead of running around blaming me, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it's not just it might not be just such a simple, you know.
Now, the best line, of course, is the one that responds to that.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
All right, it's time for shout-outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'm going to have to pump that up in the post, 133.10.
I've got a bona fide shout-out.
Oh, snap. Go ahead.
Because I'm usually a bit shit and stuff.
I wouldn't want to say it, but since you mentioned it.
I know, it's true.
Well, Stu, you didn't put it on the show notes, so you can't do it.
I've got a bona fide shout-out, which is to Phil, because a new episode...
That's right.
Yeah. A virtual pizza came out this very week.
I still haven't listened to it, but I saw that it's there, and I will listen to it.
So there you go. So shout out to Phil. He got another one out. I think it's about 6 months since the last one.
That's a good investment in that Podbean service or whatever he uses.
Oh yeah, 6 months.
I should talk. It's been like a year since the last Didactic Syncast.
There you go. So
but I did
well
get
done.
Mail recently about that, so I will be making a new one soon.
Yeah, well done to you, Phil. Well done.
Yay, Phil.
So there you go. And that's it for me. And obviously the usual shout out to all the listeners. Thank you very much for everyone who listens.
All the listeners.
And over to Chinny.
I would like to shout out everybody that's been watching me play Skyrim and continue to watch me play Skyrim. Thank you very much for your company. We're having fun. It's good. It's a good laugh. And Duke, you haven't come in yet. So
nope. Because I'm usually not around or like I don't get it. I'll tell you what. I wish I could get a text whenever someone goes online, because I get emails, but I don't check my email very often.
Interesting.
Whatever. I should be more vigilant, though. You're right.
Yeah, well, after you'd enjoy it because it's Skyrim, but it doesn't matter. But no, people have been coming in. It's been good. It's been slowly.
I was going to say, I must admit, I get alerts when someone's streaming on YouTube, but not an email. It just comes up as like a pop-up on my tablet.
Interesting.
It goes, such and such body just began to stream or whatever.
You still don't come in, Stu.
I've been in a couple of times.
Anyway,
but usually not logged in, so you might not have realised it was me.
But no, people come in, and it's been building. More people could keep coming in. It's fun. Anyway, so yeah, I would like to thank everybody who's watching me do that. I'd also like to shout out Pilch, not just because it's sad that he's finished his show, and we know how tough it is to knock out a show every week. So, joking aside, I hope to hear you on another show. There's plenty of the shows around. I'm sure somebody will get you on at some point. And we have anniversary shows always have guests on, so you're welcome on there, along with everybody else. But I also want to say thank you to Pilch for saying very nice things about us on Twitter. So he...
Oh, you can get notifications on Twitch, on text messaging. Huh.
Oh, well, there you go.
Now...
So, yeah, Pilch listened to last week's show and said thanks to the Veteran Gamers for smashing out good episodes or something like that, still smashing them out or something like that. So it's really nice when people say nice things about the show because, I don't know, it's good. So thanks to
Makes it all worthwhile.
Yes. So, yeah, is Duke, is it your thing?
Yes, I will shout out people because I want to say some things. First of all, everybody listening, of course, Mighty Ice Dude wanted me to make the Turkish version of making pancakes a thing. Because it's so shit. Now, to be fair, I think it's that the language doesn't really lend itself very well to that particular song.
Mm-hmm.
I think the person's giving it their best shot, but it doesn't really work. So anyway, I think it's funny.
I like it.
I like it too.
I used to always be amazed as a kid. When you used to watch the Eurovision Song Contest, and obviously back in the day, they always used to sing in their own language. But if they won, they always sang it in English for some reason. It was always like, you have to sing it in English. But it always sounded right. And I was like, how does that work? How does a foreign language sound right in in different languages with their same tune? How does that work? But it always seems to work. Who knows?
So anyway, thank you. And Evil Shredder tempted me with Breath of the Wild. He's like, have you got it yet? And I was like, no, not yet. He's like, it's really good. You got to get it, dude. So I might. We'll see. And Mike Judge, man, I don't know why, but recently I found I went back to a Beavis and Butthead episode where they work at the drive-in and it's such a classic line, and it's taken forever to load. But come on, watchcartoons.eu is not loading quickly for some reason.
Yeah,
I
I can't load it very quickly either.
Anyway, it's when they're working at the burger joint, and it's like, this guy comes in, he goes, yeah, I'd like a double cheeseburger, French fries, large fries, a strawberry milkshake, and an apple pie. And Butthead goes, what? And he repeats his order again, and Butthead goes, could you, like, please get less stuff? I just love it. That show always makes me laugh. It's so funny.
I was always a big fan of it.
That's it. Stop remembering TV and get to work. So we will thank people for listening. As Eric B. and Rakim said, this is a song they made called To the Listeners. So you see, it's hilarious.
Indeed.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, Stu.
Job done. We're done.
Stu,
Yes.
If people
Yes.
want to contact us, where can they go?
They can send us an email.
But if they just want to know everything Veteran Gamers, where can they go?
They can just go to the website,
Which is?
veterangamers.co.uk.
And on there, there's links to the YouTube,
Links.
there's contact
YouTube,
pages,
contacts,
there's things and videos
emails
and all
and
sorts of stuff.
Twitter,
so if you want to know
Facebook.
what the fuck we're doing, go to Veteran
Beam.
Gamers.
Hey, it's got Beam on there as well.
Beam.
It's got Beam.
No,
Beam.
no one's got Beam.
Beam is like Alta Vista on Parks and Recreation. I happen to have a sound clip loaded up here.
This guy.
Oh, here, wait.
Use Alta Vista.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Why does everyone in this town use Alta Vista?
Yeah, Alta Vista. Anyway.
Great.
Beam.
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 So if you want to know what we're up to, go to veterangamers.co.uk. The stunt plug.
Or alternatively, you can go to Beam.
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 Yeah. Beam.
Yeah, there you go.
Team,
Damn it, Jerry.
Team Beam.
We're done.
Team Beam.
Team Beam. Team Beam.
Damn it, Jerry.
Damn it, Jerry. Right, we're done. Let's get out of here.
If you like this podcast, there is another site you should check out, which is called bghub.net. And on there, you find a bunch of links to other video game podcasts, similar in vein to ours, but different in the way they're delivered. Some have all kinds of sound effects.
Are for old people.
Some talk about
Too many, some
RPGs.
people say.
Come on now.
Some might say that.
No one says that.
Then, of course, you have links to, great forums.
You don't have any other friends.
So check it out, vghub.net. It is a great starting point for your podcast discovery.
There you go. Job done. Right.
There
I'm
you go.
I'm gonna go. I've got to be up early in the morning, so I'm very
Dude,
tired and I need to go to bed.
Stu.
Yes, I need to go to bed.
No.
What?
The article will be there ready for you. Don't fuck it up this week.
Well, don't fucking start doing stuff that you've never done before, and then expect me just to know it's there.
Well, I'm telling
Did he
you.
do it?
I know. Well, that's fine.
Thank you, Fowler.
Yeah. Thank you, Ginny.
No worries.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Good night, guys.
Good night. See you all next week. Bye.
No.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hey. Still here. Thanks, everyone. Good night.